what a shot.
How about that? It is a walk-off home run.
This is Turner Sports.
Welcome to a sport where reckless driving is encouraged.
Oh, with an absolute peach of a shot. Oh, we got ourselves a real match.
This is a fusion between speed and strategy.
That is beautiful.
This is E-League Cup Rocket League.
Oh, hit it.
8 of the greatest teams from around the world converge on the E-League stage.
Chiefs are on fire.
Big goals.
Puts it through.
Fast cars.
An absolutely phenomenal clutch.
Sick money.
Let's go get that. K-Dot wins.
Let the chaos begin.
Hello, esports fans. Welcome to the finals of the E-League Cup for Rocket League. We got a full house here in the studio in Atlanta, Georgia. Lots of esports fans excited to see who is going to be taking home this trophy and $70,000 with it. I'm your host, Richard Lewis. Right at the top of the show, I'll apologize for my voice if it's a little bit croaky, but wild horses wouldn't have kept me away from this one. And joining me on the desk, we have a man whose statistical analysis never fails to impress. It is Chiefs. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I am unbelievably so ready for today because there's a lot of really cool things I want to talk about.
No doubt. And while he's going to be dropping you the knowledge, there's something to look at as well. There's a little bit of...
Is that all I have to do? Is that it? Is that
Yeah,
what I put as
kinda.
far apart?
I appreciate you, Lawler.
It is
guys.
ooh la
Thank you.
la lola. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Excited to get day 3 underway.
Same here. Well, look, let's take a look at what we've got for you today. You can see Gale Force, reigning world champions, going up against Cloud9. And in a shock, Mocket Esports made it this far. None of the so-called experts predicted it. And they're going to be
That
going
hurts
up
a little,
against
Lewis.
G2 Esports. That's why I'm saying you're just a pretty face to me now.
Yo.
Prize pool, $70,000 for the winner. But remember, every game is significant. You can see the jumps with each match that you win. And these were the standings. Lots of shocks and upsets. Chiefs down there, super happy to manage to get a win. Goes gaming 0-3. But look at that crazy Group B with the three-way tie. Lots of drama at the end of that one. Anyway, let's start talking about it. Gale Force, obviously the firm favorites, and the experts are playing it safe. Is anybody going to go against Gale Force to win the E-League Cup?
For me, no. I've been on the Cloud9 train all E-League so far.
I noticed.
The Titanic looks beautiful, but it's still at the bottom of the ocean. And,
You're right.
And Gale Force is playing absolutely out of their minds. K-Dop has a chance to be the first player in Rocket League history to win $100,000. So if he takes first place, he'll be the first one over 100K. So it's going to be a big day for K-Dop, I think.
A very big day for his bank balance as well. His bank manager will be calling him up. Do you want that loan?
Yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately
Yes.
for one of his teammates, he's going to be shy by a little bit. So maybe they
Just a
can,
little.
instead of just trading off the MVP medal, they'll give some over so he can get over 100K as well. But, I mean, Gale Force hasn't really given us a reason to doubt them yet. I mean, they've been playing just like they have at World Championship, running through that winners, no problem. Absolutely dominant performance throughout the entire weekend so far. On the other end of it, though, for me, you have to talk about Mocket. Mocket, you can't ignore. They're also 3-0. A lot of people didn't really give them the time of day, but you look at it, yes, they're all through reverse sweeps for the most part, but they're still winning games. Their game differential is actually pretty high up there. They're playing well statistically. Everybody's getting involved. They've had a couple bumps and bruises here, but when it really matters, they've shown up and they've taken the bid.
Well, what's been the key difference between the Mocket we've seen here at the E-League Cup and the Mocket that was at the RLCS?
All three of the players.
Yeah, nobody's being quiet. Everybody's getting involved. Everybody's hitting their shots. I mean, you see it here from Fairy Peak. Even though he's got people contesting him perfectly top right, people just getting up and early, and they're not waiting for things to happen. They're the ones that are approaching it and leading that charge.
Yeah, Chiefs.
No, that's it, to a T. All three players of Mocket.
See, not just a pretty face.
All right, okay.
All right.
If the Mega Mind's agreeing with you, yeah, all right. But no, I mean, I got to say they definitely impressed me just in terms of kind of output and how well they've managed to perform against all of those odds, because I made the same mistake. I kind of slept on them a little bit, and to see them now in contention, we're talking about them almost as if they're the second favorites after Gale Force, which is pretty crazy. So, anyone else? I mean, is there a chance of an upset here at all?
I mean, G2's been playing really well. I expect them to put up a decent fight, but I don't know if they really have the same level of what we've seen out of Machina and Gale Force. We're in North America. It's Atlanta. Granovi's from Atlanta. So, I mean, if you're from Atlanta, you can root for him as well. Apart from, you know, him being a huge, popular poster boy, basically. But I hate to do this. It's all Europe final, I think.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something there, and I haven't been in Rocket League for very long.
Yeah, let me
The
have
fans
it.
don't like it. We can't help we're superior at the game. We can't help it. It's just the way it is. Anyway, look, I'll tell you what we'll do before the crowd goes hostile. We'll go to a break. We are going to get into the action when we come back. Gale Force versus Cloud9. We'll see you in a few moments.
We prepare for a game by being backstage, huddled in a group, you know, getting fists together, you know, 1, 2, 3. I forget what he said. Focus. 1, 2, 3, focus. And then going on stage, and I think that really helps us.
I always have to have the monitor at like a certain height and like a certain distance away from me. I have to make sure like my eyes are above the monitor. I like looking down at it.
The superstition I would have would be being placed in the middle of the team, being the happy-go-lucky guy. I feel like I can send off good vibes towards my team.
Before a match on the main stage, I think each of us have our own approach to becoming calm and focused on the game. For me, I've been doing performing in different arts since I was 10 years old, so I'm pretty used to the live audience. So I'm just usually focused on the task at hand.
That was Pregame Rituals presented by Domino's, the official pizza of E-League, and that means it is now time to start the Domino's countdown. Just want to say that clip there with Ghost as well. That was like something out of Spinal Tap, wasn't it? You know? What is it we say? I forget. Oh yeah, focus. Okay, right. You couldn't make it up. Anyway, let's talk about the game. Gale Force versus Cloud9. Let's start by talking about Cloud9. They shouldn't even really have been here. You know, they were the lucky recipients of that three-way tie. Fingers crossed, Mockett did them the favor.
I mean, you can say that, but at the same time, they had to take that 3-1 victory over Method in order to get there. So they did everything they could in that circumstance. But yeah, you're exactly correct. I mean, Cloud9 is a team that started in Atlanta and has now come full circle back to Atlanta in the aspect of when they were known as the Muffin Men. They had that dominating performance, and then from there, it's been smooth sailing, winning pretty much everything they get their hands on. But they've struggled here. It hasn't been the easiest of chances. They were put in that death group, as we've been calling Group B. So they've got an uphill battle, obviously, coming forward.
Yeah, and Chiefs, you've been kind of the biggest fan of Cloud9 coming in. What do you make of Squishy? We're doing a head-to-head comparison here of him sort of with K-Dop, who we've already talked about, you know, legendary player. Just how good is Squishy?
Well, Squishy is absolutely insane, mechanically. I mean, he's responsible for the most iconic goal in Rocket League since Gambit's air dribble.
Yeah.
So, Squishy, as a player, usually he likes to support Gimmick on offense because Gimmick's the primary goal scorer, but he also does a really good job of supporting Torment on the defensive side of things. And that was actually one of the big things that Torment talked about in his interview yesterday after that match versus Method. Squishy said he wanted to play a little bit further back, and it played well for Cloud9. And that gave them that win over Method that they felt like. So if Squishy is able to do a little bit more of that supporting role for both of his teammates, then, I mean, Cloud9 will have a great game.
I mean, I think they have to have a great game, because I will say, I've been watching Gale Force. It's like watching an AI play. It's terrifying. It certainly has been here at the E-League Cup. It's been absolutely terrifying just how clinical they've actually been. And they haven't made any mistakes yet. And I just don't see that changing, you know?
Yeah, it's like Gale Force, I've been talking about numbers for a long time. Gale Force has the #1 numbers in a lot of different categories. Cloud9 has the #2 numbers in a lot of different categories. And it's just, that's the big difference maker. Cloud9 has a great offense. Gale Force also has a great offense. Gale Force has a lockdown defense. #1, 1.5 goals per game. I've said for a long time that Rocket League favors the offensive team, but Gale Force's offense is just as good as Cloud9. And I think that lockdown defense of Gale Force is the difference maker.
So predictions then, who's taking this first match?
Gale Force in 6.
Okay, Gale Force in 6.
Gale Force, but I think they're going to go the full 7. Cloud9 is it's going to be a little bit different. This is a best of 7. It's going to be a war of attrition. And when you give Cloud9 time to kind of battle back, they make it a pretty good effort.
All right, well, Cloud9 going down fighting is what we think is going to happen here on the analysis desk. I'm now going to throw you over to our commentators for this one. It's Wave Punk and Finable Carpet. They're over in the Boost Mobile caster desk. What do you think is going to happen, gentlemen?
Oh, man. My favorite thing about this match, you heard Lawler talking about it. This is a storied match in Rocket League history. Back at DreamHack Atlanta, it was the Muffin Men, who are now known as Cloud9, going up against Gale Force in the finals, and the Muffin Men were able to take it. And now we get to see them as champions of their respective regions to take on each other here in the semifinals at E-League.
It's also one of the big reasons of why I'm happy I am not in the booth, or sorry, on the desk right now, so I don't actually have to make a prediction in front of everybody.
Yeah, that's not my job to make a prediction. I'm just here to call the action. We got Cloud9 in the blue and Gale Force in the orange. Best of 7 here. First to take 4 games, moves into the grand finals. So we see Torment and Squishy working together in the drop down.
Wow.
Squishy comes through right off the bat. Cloud9 strikes.
Opening up strong. Squishy, this was really high for him, but I'm surprised he was able to get there. The angle on this was so tiny, and he had 2 defenders to push it through, but Squishy will never fail in a shot like that, and he'll put his team in the lead.
Puts that one through, and now Cloud9 already with the lead here. But a marathon, the best of 7 is. Gotta win 4. Still so much work ahead of them. Cloud9 with the setup here. Torment, airborne, Turbo Pulsar gets it past. Now K-Dop with the chase. 50-50 over to the side. Turbo Pulsar now. Moved it downfield. Gimmick, the first player out. Torment sitting in the second roll. Squishy hanging back in net for Cloud9. Out the wall, back out to midfield. Long shots from Gale Force. Countered by high touches from Cloud9. Keeping the ball out of the box. Now Gimmick following along. Cross midfield, going for the dribble play. And the 1 gets a pass Violent Panda. He's got Turbo Pulsar right in front of him. Now K-Dop. 3 players in the corner, but a clean clear from Gale Force. Squishy now in the corner. Over the top of the 1. Going for the ceiling pass. We'll keep it glued to the ground as Turbo Pulsa able to move in. Torment with the read and now across the field. Gimmick moving up. K-Dop's got it away. Violent Panda into the corner. Torment up to midfield. Back and forth. This is that first goal we've had players able to advance the ball onto offense, able to move it around, but no real shot attempts on that from either side as the defenses, the midfield, have been able to hold on pretty well.
Getting that opening goal, especially for a team like Cloud9, and the first game of the series, again, usually it's very slow. That first goal takes a while, often in the last minute of the first game. So to get it right off the bat gives Cloud9 some room to breathe, but that also means that Gale Forth are going to do their best.
They will go forth and try to take victory. Now K-Dop over the top, nobody in the net right now, but the ball going all the way to the corner. Squishy and Torment working together here. Gimmick airborne, ball now into the midfield. Torment following along. Off the ceiling, gets a pass to it's just Turbo and net, but he's got the altitude, he'll get it away. Squishy to pass back inwards. Nobody immediately in position from Cloud9. Turbo Pulsa. Corner with Violent Panda, K-Dop. Played out, Violent Panda with the chase. Squishy catches it, dribbles it in the corner. Gimmick demolishing his own net, but Cloud9's got all the ball control. Have plenty of time to respawn, get that one out. Cross halftime here, approaching the 2-minute mark, and it's still the 1-0 lead for Cloud9.
A very fast Cloud9, which I'm very happy to see. A lot of their success in league play was due to their passing plays. You'd see Squishy, even though he's incredible at striking, he can still use that creativity to get a lot of the passes out to his teammates. We haven't seen that as much in these last few weeks from them, but I think it's slowly starting to get closer to what we'd seen.
Gimmick putting it into the corner, following his own touch, but countered by Gale Force. Squishy now in the air. Shot towards net, defended by K-Dop, but the pressure's still on. Here comes Torment, a ball back down and onto the backboard. Gimmick following K-Dop. Gale Force coming out of net. All three players up and in the blue. The shot is just a bit wide. Squishy now looking for the dribble. He's got Torment to work with in the midfield, but tackled by Violent Panda. They take it away. Now Gimmick in the corner. Torment got zoned out in net. He and Squishy will be able to work together to get it out and away. So we approach the final minute. Still Cloud9 holding on to the lead, but Gale Force starting to pressure.
And they're starting to get physical. We just saw Violent Panda go for a double bump into net. He was able to barely get one and get a decent touch on another, but the shot that came in right after was just on the crossbar.
Final minute of game one. Violent Panda to try and loft it around. K-Dop's got a pass two. Violent Panda up, and he's got Turbo Pulsa in the middle. Here comes K-Dop with a shot. Upper 90, bounces posting out, but Turbo Pulsa in with the follow-up. Still a bit high. Squishy misses, and K-Dop will get the flip. It goes towards the net. Can they finish it off? No! Torment sends it away, and Gimmick will look to get it out of his half.
They're not at a safety yet. They've used so much boost for this Violent Panda!
He glues it to the wall, slams it in and tie game.
I didn't think they were just out of it yet, and this push through from Violent Panda all alone off of the backboard. They had forced Cloud9 into the worst situation using all of their boost, tying it up with 35 seconds left.
And an offensive siege capitalized by a solo play from Violent Panda, and now 30 seconds remaining. Squishy going for the ceiling shots, takes it towards the net. It's just a bit high, and K-Dop will get it past Gimmick. Now Violent Panda up into the corner. He's got Turbo Pulsa lurking behind. He'll move up to intercept Torment, and he does so. Back onto the backboard of Cloud9, and gets a second touch as well.
Uh-oh, 2-1 up.
Squishy and Gimmick both out. K-Dop to Violent Panda, shot towards net. Torment's up and gets it away, but that was all three players. K-Dop can't find the angle in the final countdown. Coming down here at the end of game one, looking like we might have overtime, but with these guys, anything can happen. Torment's up on the wall. He's got two players underneath him. He misses contact. Squishy tries to take the shot, but the tackle comes through. K-Dop sends a shot downfield. Turbo could get the redirect. Oh, it's off the post, and Torment will put it into the ground. Oh, Violent Panda gets there underneath. Now we'll have overtime. Close one there.
A little worrisome to see Cloud9's defense fall apart there at the end, but they are just able to play it through. And they actually get a kickoff goal here.
Yeah, Torment off the kickoff, going straight for net. Two players committed, and it's just Squishy in the back. A nice loft onto the backboard. So dropping straight back down. Gimmick's shot is a bit high. He's got Torment to follow it up, but Turbo Pulsa sends it away. Out towards Violent Panda. Squishy now in with the shot. K-Dop back out of his own half. Turbo downfield. Torment first and goal. Plays it out to Squishy into the corner. Underneath, Turbo Pulsa. Able to get it through, but Torment's there. Shot from midfield. Gimmick comes in, plays it off, but he and Squishy bump into each other. Torment needs to keep this one away and let his teammates sort each other out. Gimmick with a nice play past Violent Panda. K-Dop's there. They're not just out of the woods. Not out of the woods just yet. But Turbo into Violent Panda, going for the fake, gets it past Torment, and now the bump's coming through, but the shot isn't there. Torment with the tackle on K-Dop, and we'll keep playing here as the first minute of overtime will come and go.
And look at how long Cloud9 has been forced into their own half. They just can't clear it out. Finally, someone out to Torment. This is the first time it's gone into Galeforce's half since this overtime has started.
K-Dop had fallen back well. Easily cleared it back into the blue, and here we are again. Gale Force pressuring in Cloud9's territory. Torment to play it off the wall. Now Squishy to pick it up. He's got two right in front of him, but Turbo will get the tackle. K-Dop now airborne. Gimmick over his head and now back and into an orange corner. But what a clear from Violent Panda. All the way from his corner, it'll end up in the blue. Turbo pulls into the middle. Torment's there. Plays it back down, but Violent Panda and K-Dop already having fallen back. Turbo pulls it in for the redirect, but it's just wide. Demolition on K-Dop, the shot from Violent Panda. Squishy's there and sends it away. Turbo Pulse is in the net, and K-Dop the only player in the back right now for Gale Force. With a long, lofty clears by so much time. Now 2 minutes of overtime here in game number 1. You heard him on the desk predicting 6 games, 7 games. It's looking like it right now with how close these teams are playing. Ball back into the middle. Violent Panda's up to try and take the shot. It's a bit high. He'll need some help here. Here comes Turbo. Gimmick's got the clear. K-Dop shot back towards the net here. Does it go in? No, it's back out and away. K-Dop in, Violent Panda up. 3 players on the defense, still all kind of buckled in, not the best position, but the shot didn't come through from Violent Panda. Now halfway into a second game.
It's looking like another matter of time situation, but now Cloud9 are able to clear it. It's not,
That was a close one there. Squishy and Gimmick, as they both fall back. Turbo Bulls had it uncontested on the backboard. Now Squishy with ball control. Turbo tackles it from him. Torment moves in to take over. K-Dop down to Turbo Pulsa. Miss it midfield. Squishy following this one himself. Shot towards net. K-Dop's got the save at the goal line. Now Gimmick holding onto the ball. Turbo Pulsa gets in the way. 3 players on defense for Gale Force. Torment through 2. Violent Panda up on the wall. Uncontested, gets it past Gimmick. K-Dop back down. Following his own touch. Torment into the middle. Now Squishy with the follow. 50-50 goes in his favor. K-Dop plays it back over towards Turbo and Violent Panda. Gimmick with the setup. Bounce it back down. K-Dop with a clear and Violent Panda with an excellent touch. This moves it back down the field as well. Torment will get there in time. Now 3 players in the blue for Gale Force. K-Dop and Violent Panda to fall back and let Turbo try to create havoc.
I don't know if I've ever seen this before. Gale Force has 13 shots and Cloud9 has 13 saves.
Oh, wow. Accuracy from Gale Force. A clean 100% save ratio.
Defensive accuracy, I guess, for Cloud9.
And you've heard from, the shot downfield. Is this one going to go there? No, K-Dop's in the back. He'll get the clear. Gimmick now over to the side. 4 minutes of overtime come and gone here just in game number 1. Approaching a second game of Rocket League here at the beginning of our first semifinal. Torment underneath 1. It's just Violent Panda in this corner. Torment closes the gap, and he's got Squishy to help him. Slight double commitment here from Cloud9 to pass inwards. When Gimmick doesn't like what he sees, he'll go up to challenge, just take it away from Violent Panda, but no shot to come through just yet. Turbo taking a shot across the field. It goes into his corner. 4:38 on the clock, approaching 5 minutes of overtime. Turbo puts it in the corner, Squishy and Torment. Bit of a double commitment, and Turbo Pulsa's got it over the top. K-Dop could drop this in, but it's not there. Follow from Violent Panda, cleared by Gimmick, and now Squishy with the chase. He's going to look to mind game Turbo Pulsa here in the midfield. He gets it past 1, but Torment's there. And now Squishy with the fallback. Gimmick will be moving up as well.
Incredible defense from Turbo. He went just up to Squishy to make him think that he could do something about it, but then he turned right back around to try and shadow, I guess, the reverse of shadow, but sitting right in front of him so he couldn't pop it over. Well played by Turbo.
And now into the 5th minute of overtime. We've played 2 games for the price of 1 here. Violent Panda puts it over to the side. Squishy shot towards net. Violent Panda with a loft, but Torment just doesn't see the shot, so he falls back. Squishy puts it in the middle. Gimmick's airborne, but does not have the altitude. Violent Panda into the middle. Torment with a shot downtown. This could do it, but K-Dop gets up in time and clears it away. They're not just out of the woods, but Turbo Pulse's touch over to the side is going to help it out. K-Dop now. Long shot from his own half. Torment's up, sends it to the side. Approaching the 6th minute. 4 seasons of Rocket League for the RLCS. The record overtime, 7 minutes and 17 seconds. Gimmick following this one out to midfield. Violent Panda, shot. It's high, Squishy with the chase. Over the top of Turbo. Gale Force right now just going for long, booming shots, not wanting to fall prey to the breakaway. The longer these overtimes go, the more demoralizing it becomes when you lose, and you just do not want to be the team that concedes this here. In game number 1, Torment shot blocked by Violent Panda. Pressure from Cloud9 as the time just continues to tick by.
The attempted mid-air demo, frustrated that these shots aren't making connections with the net.
Pass back down to the middle. Squishy back by his own goal. Pass K-Dop. Now the fake underneath Violent Panda. K-Dop's moving back, but Turbo Pulse on the front line will get the tackle. Torment. Pass to Violent Panda moving into the corners. K-Dop rotates. Cloud9 wanting to finish it off. Gale Force pressuring them so much right now in their own half. 3 players up and in the blue for Gale Force. 7 minutes of overtime as Torment tries to play it out, gets it across midfield, tries to put it into the corner here, and it'll wrap up and high. Turbo Pulse now with the clear. And we'll go back out to midfield again. As this one ticks down, we'll cross that 7 minutes and 17 seconds of overtime. Squishy though with the shot off the post. Turbo Pulse gets it up high to Violent Panda, clears it away. And Gimmick now back onto the backboard again. It's in front of the box. Torment, he thinks about turning, but he leaves
no
it.
answer.
Squishy, Gimmick goes for the zone, but Violent Panda doesn't have any of it. Says not today, sends it to the side, and we'll keep playing.
They're getting closer and closer, but if they dedicate too much to any of these, you know Gale Force are looking to punish.
3 players there in the corner after the demo spawned him on the wrong side. Turbo Pulse is here. Torment, oh my goodness, it's into the box. Squishy trying to play a pass, but Violent Panda winning the 50-50 and now looking to zone Torment. So we head into an 8th minute of overtime here. Torment crosses, Violent Panda, shot towards the net, the demolition on goal, is it enough? No, Gimmick's able to get it away again. And we continue to go. Squishy in midfield, Torment sitting back in net, the pass could come through from
There it is!
And it will end with Gale Force with the victory. What an onslaught and marathon of a game.
8 minutes and 14-second overtime. To calculate these shots and saves, I actually will need a second. So if you want to talk, Waypunk, I'm going to do what I can.
It's very interesting because that record overtime for RLCS, the RLCS record of 7 minutes and 17 seconds, was set back in Season 2. And we've come so close.
They can finally breathe.
We've come so close to breaking that record over the last 2 seasons, but never actually have. And here in the semifinals in ELEAGUE, our first season of ELEAGUE, the first time we've gotten to do ELEAGUE, we get it up above 18 minutes. You can see just finally the players can take the sigh, can breathe for just a moment, because they played just 13 minutes of Rocket League straight.
So 14 shots for Cloud9 and 17 shots for Gale Force. And what I did appreciate seeing and what I enjoyed is that even in overtime, both teams were playing relatively aggressive. We always see once the golden goal time happens, you know, they know the next one's in. They're so scared to make mistakes, they get very passive. They'll take one shot and everybody backs out. We can do a 3-man defense, we're fine. Even if it's a little bit stressful, at least you're more confident and you won't have to worry about doing any panic defense or retreating defense. They at least know, hey, we're already back, it doesn't worry. But you know, they weren't just waiting on counterattacks, they were doing a great job of pushing forward, getting the attacks in, and honestly, incredible play from both teams.
Yeah, at this level, and you know, in a top 8 scenario, 8 minutes and 14 seconds of overtime is the longest overtime we've basically ever had in competitive Rocket League. What a game there. And 15 saves. One interesting thing I want to talk about here, you've heard Achieves talking about the saves and stuff, that Cloud9 doesn't have to make that many saves because of how aggressive their offense is. 15 saves. You told it 13 of those saves happened while we were still in regulation. They didn't have to do all that much defense there in overtime, at least on the goal line. So Gale Force really forcing Cloud9 to play in their own box, something that they're not used to in North America.
And what I think both teams were doing pretty exceptionally when they were on defense, they weren't just sitting on the back. They weren't just sitting on the line, right? A lot of teams will make the mistake of sitting in the net and sitting on the backboard, but then you leave that midfield open. So all those infield passes become such a big threat. But both these teams know what they're capable of. This is pretty much the best from each region going at it right now. So they understand that threat for the infield passes. So they're leaving somebody that's up a little bit. They're spacing out on defense, and again, trying to cut those off the moment they see them. And it just seemed that at the very last second, that passing play from the midfield over to Turbo Pulse is what gave it to Gale Force.
Yeah, but you saw it there on your screen, folks. They're calling it the longest game of professional Rocket League in competitive history. These guys, game 1. We have at least 3 more games, possibly 6 left to play here. What a day of Rocket League we have in store for us. I can't wait to see it go down as Turbo Pulse looks for the pass here. Cloud9 already pressuring. Gale Force's half, Torment with a shot. Now Gimmick looking to send it back down to Torment. See Turbo Pulse looking to set up K-Dop. Gimmick now back down the field. Nobody really at home in the goal here, but Violent Panda will play it away still. What excellent defense there from Gale Force. Now Turbo Pulse in his own corner. K-Dop sending this one back over towards Violent Panda. Pinch here in midfield. Gimmick to take a shot. K-Dop's there and sends it away. The retreating defense holding on. We'll see what Gale Force is able to do here. Violent Panda now here at midfield. Turbo Pulse and K-Dop.
Double commit from Cloud9. Slow down this attack a bit. Gimmick getting caught out as well. Now Violent Panda on 1.
Oh, and Torment makes the save. The pass play coming through from Gale Force, but the defense is there from Cloud9 again. Keep this one going. Squishy putting it into the corner. K-Dop up. Midfield rotation from Cloud9, just trying to keep this ball in the orange. K-Dop will play the nice pass inwards, and Torment Pulse's shot towards net, defended by Squishy. The shot was going to need a follow-up anyways, as it was a bit wide, but Gale Force now starting to get some moments of offense here, taking these shots from midfield. Violent Panda
Where's
with
Cloud9?
So nobody's in goal. They'll put that one through, and Gale Force has the lead.
This has to be just a situation of miscommunication. You don't see this very often, especially from a team like Cloud9. Torment and Gimmick both push up on opposite sides of the pitch, so you have to assume one of them was designed or should have been back, or they expected Squishy to get more of a 50-50 or contest situation on that, and they're going to concede the first goal.
Well, and you saw the last 3 attempts of offense from Gale Force were these, they get it through in the goal. Squishy finds the shot, immediately ties up the game.
Bit of redemption here from Cloud9, pushing it right back. Incredible contest from Torment, and then Gimmick right over Turbo Pulse, who was the final defender. Tried to come across for that, but it does not matter. Squishy will push it through.
And the last, what I was trying to say before the goal, was the last 3 offensive attempts from Gale Force were these passes from midfield and taking a single shot. So it surprised me that Gale Force left themselves open on the defense when it was just the same play 3 times in a row, and the 3rd time the defender just wasn't there, and that's when the goal goes in. Cloud9 immediately tying things up, nullifying that lead from Gale Force. Now Torment to Squishy. Drop back down. K-Dop and Violent Panda will look to work together. And they find Turbo Pulse. Gimmick able to keep this one near the ceiling. Shut it down in the midfield. Now Squishy has it up into the orange. K-Dop with the tackle. Torment. Reposition, allow Gimmick to move up in the midfield. The 50-50 is just continuously killing this ball around the half-field mark. And K-Dop getting underneath. Violent Panda should, oh my goodness, he doesn't put the shot in here. What wasn't open net. K-Dop still manages to get it, though, over the top of the inbound defender, and Gale Force has the lead back.
It's okay, Violent Panda. Take a breath. You take a breath. It went in still. You probably don't feel too good, but you gave it to K-Dop. They were still able to capitalize on that. Squishy, the last man on defense, really needed to make something out of that, but Gale Force made sure to keep that as difficult as they could, keeping it just out of his reach. When you have control, you can push 2 into your opponent's half, which means that defender, it's really reliant on him buying time and letting your team come retreat for you.
The infield pass from Cloud9 nearly working out there, and though Violent Panda did kind of miss that first open shot, he did get the touch on the wall that passed it to K-Dop and made the shot possible for his teammate here. And now the zones from K-Dop trying to hold down Squishy, but Torment is able to come in, and now Squishy gets a block. Gimmick airborne. We'll follow this one along, puts it into the corner. He's got Squishy to work with in the middle, and he flicks it over too, but Violent Panda up, and now he'll look for K-Dop. Gonna immediately advance back downfield. Nobody in net right now for Cloud9, but the interception in midfield from Torment comes through. K-Dop setting up in his corner. Torment with the pass off the ceiling. He'll go straight into Gale Force hands. Now Squishy out into the orange. Turbo Pulsar looking for the ceiling shot here. He'll take one towards the net, but Squishy's got that one away. He knows how to read those. It's like, you can't do my move against me, man.
Bit of an unnecessary attempt from Turbo. He was the only one up. I think at that point he just wanted to put on a threat, force somebody to come carry it out of net. Maybe hopefully he had a teammate following very closely so they could push it over Squishy, but didn't really result in a whole lot.
Violent Panda over the side, final minute of game 2. Gale Force holding on to a 1-goal lead. Cloud9 looking to tie it up for the second time. Gimmick with a follow here. Turbo pulls a pass inwards. Gimmick now. Up and into the orange corner. The bounce back comes back down. He takes the shot upper 90 and bounces crossbar and out just a bit too high on his shot placement. But what was it? Absolute laser beam to the upper corner. Nearly tying the game single-handedly. And now the pass plays come through from Violent Panda. Again, Turbo Pulsar up to keep this ball glued to that back wall. And they keep it again, like 3 bounces in a row. Go in Gale Force's favor. K-Dop coming off the wall. He'll look for Turbo in the middle, but Torment takes it away from him. He's got Gimmick to work with. Pass comes back mid. Over the top of Torment. Squishy wins the 50-50 as the final countdown happens. They need this goal right now. That long clear is going to make things difficult. They can play in a 0-second time, but they have to keep this ball off the ground, and it's not going to happen. Gale Force now 2 games up over Cloud9.
Still only a single goal difference between the two teams that game, so they kept it close. They're bringing out their weaponry, both teams are, but it seems like Gale Force just barely able to do it. A little bit over Cloud9 right now. It's hard to say exactly what needs to change. Cloud9, every now and then it seems like they're forced to be in a place where they just need to give up possession. They're in the corner of their own half, and they get a hard clear, but again, there's no one to pass it to. But to be fair, you can't put 2 people up if you're still playing defense, right? If they still have that mid control and they're still able to start putting on attacks, you can't just leave 1 man back because he will 100% get overwhelmed by their attack. So if you keep 2 men back, then you don't have anyone to pass to, and there's 1 person carrying it alone. And you're relying on a couple of good situations, either a really good midfield contest, you can drive up as a pair potentially, or you're looking for a really, really hard kill that lets you guys start the drive up.
And you see here a little bit more of a traditional Cloud9 game, only having to put up 4 saves here against Gale Force, but the 10 shots that Gale Force was able to put up, they had pretty similar amounts of ball control when you look at the personal scores there. But the amount of shots that Gale Force was able to put up, 10 to the 6 from Cloud9, they were just being more effective at putting on the pressure, creating a siege in Cloud9's half. And Cloud9 now, 2 games in a row, has dropped 2-1.
Since they're keeping it close, though, that obviously means at any given point this could turn around. Cloud9 had a lot of really close shots, robbed by a couple of crossbar hits, which is an easy fix in the scheme of things, right?
At the same time, that's an issue, though, that's been plaguing them the last 3 days, especially with Gimmick. His shots, he's always going for the hard-to-block shots, which is exactly what he needs to do, but he has, like, a few times a match made a shot that just doesn't go through. K-Dop moves in, but misses now, and that's nobody in the back. Torment should be free, clean. No, Violent Panda is able to get back just in time, get that one away. The shot's still trying to come through from Cloud9. Oh, the
Torment on the whiff.
K-Dop could flip this one over, but Torment just comes on through, adds some pace to the ball, gets it back out to midfield. Up onto his own backboard, Violent Panda comes in. His shot is just a bit high. K-Dop over will win the 50-50, but he doesn't have anybody else to help him out. And Gimmick will send it to Torment. The shot, again, bit wide of the goal. And what was a ridiculous counterattack from Cloud9. Gimmick plays it underneath 1, but he's being shadowed, and now the shot comes through from Gale Force. A double commitment, but Squishy's able to immediately ground himself, and the ball goes over to a teammate. So Cloud9 able to defend well. Right now, the challenge game. 2 players going for the ball consistently. Gale Force is winning. As Torment goes up, Violent Panda gets it through. Just a complete win as he gets to the ball. Absolutely first goal. He's not ready. Gale Force scores.
This needed to be challenged in the corner. Squishy thinking that was going to be a hard clear, trying to push it over. Everybody waiting in midfield, but sadly it went straight up into the ceiling, straight back down into his half. And Violent Panda had the whole net to strike on with a defender that really couldn't do much.
Yeah, such a brilliantly fast read, and now off of kickoff looking to do it again. Squishy will take it from him. Torment, Squishy, and Gimmick all up in the orange right now. Very deep, aggressive positioning here. Torment rotates back to midfield to try and get this one away. And it'll go back lofted towards the box, but Turbo able to connect it out and look for K-Dop. Now into the box, looking to get the soft touch and play it away from the defenders. Squishy's there. He'll get another save under his belt. Right now, it's taking multiple saves from Cloud9 just to clear the ball. K-Dop trying to come in, but Gimmick gets it away again. The pressure from the European champions and from the world champions here is just absolutely overwhelming.
We're beginning to see more double commits from Cloud9 on defense, and so far, they really haven't felt a lot of pain from it.
Can he finish this? No, Gimmick gets it away, but what a read by K-Dop to cleanly get it out. Gimmick with the challenge. Now Torment and 2 players are up, but K-Dop, though, still able to make contact and get it back out of his half. Gimmick turns around. Again, aggressive positioning from Cloud9, what they do best. They've got to make the shots happen. Torment goes for the soft game, gets it under 1. Violent Panda's up and plays it away. Torment will go for the boost starve as Squishy and Gimmick look to try and finish it off here. The Torment, after stealing the boost, immediately has to use all of it just to buy time for his teammates to fall back. The midfield shot from Gimmick again, a little bit wide. We've crossed halftime here, still the 1-goal lead for Gale Force, who have won the first 2 games of the series. They win this one, they'll be on match point.
But Cloud9 are looking in a great situation to tie this up. They've had a lot of control and a lot of really good shots. Sometimes that follow-up shot is just a little bit too late, and they're not able to fully push it through, and someone can get back on defense for Gale Force. But again, if they just speed that up, or if they can fix just 1 or 2 more shots, they can still easily tie this up with 2 minutes.
Gimmick with a flick. Violet Panda in, the pressure continues. Squishy will play this one away, but the clear doesn't go very far. He stalled out Violent Panda, but he gets the boost in the midfield. K-Dop will get the pass to Turbo, and they're right back onto offense. A demolition in the corner. It's actually Gimmick that gets the demo onto Turbo. Now Violent Panda up, trying to loft it back down to his teammates from the corner. The pass out, distance and Torment. Cloud9, they have a cherry pick now. That moves back in, closes that distance, removes that possible positional use. Turbo Pulsa getting that one away. Gimmick, you saw Torment committing, is hoping Gimmick could get it over the top of the defense, but it's not there. Now Turbo Pulsa over the top of 2. Does it go in? It does. Turbo Pulsa makes it a 2-goal game.
I honestly didn't think Turbo Pulsa, not that I don't have faith in the guy, but I didn't know if he'd get it past both of these. Squishy wanted to slow that down so that whoever was a net could then go for the second challenge, right? If you're going to challenge someone like Turbo, the first man will probably lose. Squishy knew there was a pretty small chance that he'd get to that, but that means he was relying on somebody coming from net to get that flick, because in reality that was a very easy save from a good position, but they were just not in the right places to take that down.
Torment out to Squishy. Shot downfield in the final minute. The demolition's a good start for them. And 2 players commit, but Turbo Pulsa's got it. And nobody challenges him, so he's able just to keep moving the ball. Squishy pushes it across. He's got Gimmick to help him out. But again, the 50-50 is just 1 out. K-Dop takes it straight off of Gimmick's hood. The pass goes in. Violent Panda will just take a shot straight in. They're trying to be aggressive. They're trying to move it out, but Gale Force is just reading them.
Every time Cloud9 tries to make a passing play, Gale Force not only intercept it, but use that interception to set up their own passing play. And those counterattacks are so quick to set up for. Because if you're in the spread out positions for offense, you're not particularly positioned well for defense.
30 seconds left, down by 3. Things are looking grim for Cloud9 here in Game 3. As we look forward to Game 4, we've seen quite a few reverse sweeps here at ELEAGUE as a 4th goal goes in there for Gale Force. At Cloud9, they'll have to do it again. The thing is, the reverse sweeps we've seen were in best of 5s. This is a best of 7. They will have to win 4 straight, not dropping a single game to Gale Force if they hope to see the finals.
And now think of what, I mean, if you're on Cloud9's roster, what you're up against right now is a team that makes little to no mistakes. And what I mean by that even is just every single touch that they intend to goes almost exactly where they intend to put it. Every clear is a hard clear. Every time they want to get a dribble, it's a decent dribble. They always do exactly what they're intended on.
Good play there from Cloud9, getting the demolition on the goalie, and then the shot from Gimmick straight into the middle. This is good for breaking up a bit of the momentum that Gale Force was building. Help give them some morale boost moving into Game 4.
Yeah, 3 goals in 4 seconds is something I would love to see.
Oh, that'd be amazing. They just need the magical 4-point goal.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do. So if you collect all the Easter eggs, you can turn the ball gold. I'm making this up, folks. This is not real. But this ball will touch eventually.
How dare you lie to our viewers?
I'm sorry.
What's wrong with you?
I was just trying to be entertaining. Gale Force cleanly 3 games in a row. They have not allowed more than 2 goals from Cloud9. They've only scored once in these games. And just look at these goals, this pressure. All of these shots going to be coming from so deep in Cloud9 territory here. That was a beautiful play by Turbo. Over the top of 2 defenders who are careening in on him.
And that's another double commit, which we've seen from Cloud9 several times in this, which I'm not a particularly huge fan of seeing, as I don't think anybody is, but it's not what we usually see from Cloud9. We've seen a little bit of that in this series, but all it takes is 1 or 2 of them, and you're going to give up a goal.
Folks, Bleacher Report connects you to the stories, teams, athletes, and moments that matter in sports culture. Download the free Bleacher Report app and stay dialed into the teams and topics that you care about most.
Thanks, Caleb.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
it's a great app.
I like learning new things.
You can learn all sorts of things. The crazy thing about the internet, you can learn literally anything you want.
So what I want to see out of Cloud9, sorry, I just weird segue. What I want to see out of Cloud9 is a little more intention for pass. When I was watching this the way they were spread out, it didn't really seem like there was a lot of room to give themselves options. They always give themselves one option, which is get a hard clear to the backboard, right? A lot of just, here's a hard hit into empty space, but that's probably going to get taken up and swallowed up by a Gale Force defender.
Absolutely.
They're not going to let that go unanswered. So they're hitting it out, and to what end? They're not spacing themselves accordingly. And if Gale Force are there to cut it out, then either get closer or find some way around it, right? Gale Force are obviously going to do their best to get between you two because they don't want to deal with a pass because that's a huge threat.
Well, game 4, we move on to Utopia Dusk. And what could possibly be the last game for Cloud9 here at ELEAGUE. They've got to win 4 straight if they want to see those finals. It's a do or die time. And they're already trapped in their own half. Squishy, we saw him do this yesterday. When he was on the brink of elimination, what does he do? Drops the Octane, pulls out the Dominus. We'll see if this car makes a difference for him. It starts off with some good offense from Cloud9. Gimmick gets it in.
Well, it makes a difference for Gimmick for some weird reason. He didn't change his car, but finally, I'm sure after a lot of these near hits that he made in the last few games, he puts in the first goal in his first attempt. It's got to feel good.
When he just goes for a clean backboard double tap instead of the power shot from midfield. Much easier shot for him to just place onto net once he's up.
Especially with the defender that's, on the ground.
Yeah, when K-Dub's not challenging there. Definitely helped him out, and Cloud9's got the lead. Let's see if we can hold on to it. Right now, Cloud9, the name of the game is score 2 goals. They have not scored more than 1 in this series.
Well, the first name of the game is win. The second name of the game...
I'll score the 2 goals and then win, know? So that'll help. It'll just be good. First minute of overtime. Oh, and a demolition in net. Turbo pulls it gone. Here comes the shot from Squishy. The pass, Torment was right there. There's the 2 goals they need. Good start here for Cloud9.
Of all the time for them to turn it on, it's now when they're facing utter loss right now. Gimmick, Squishy, and a demolition all working together to give themselves their second goal.
Starting to come alive here in game 4. See, how does Gale Force respond now? First time they've been down by 2 goals. Violent Panda off the backboard. Gimmick. Gonna hold on to this. Just played softly in between the Gale Force frontline defense. Nice fake by Squishy. Oh, and he follows it up with another one. Trying to send it in. He finds Gimmick. Oh, but it goes off and out. So close. A brilliant setup, but no goal on the other end.
As frustrated as you can be that did not go in, you still have to feel good that you found the opportunity and you're able to make that play happen.
Oh, the bump on Torment goes up, so he's got a soft touch, and here comes the follow from Violent Panda. Excellent read by Gimmick to get it away, but the pressure's still on for Gale Force. Squishy follows us in. Violent Panda into Turbo, pulls a shot, is blocked by Gimmick. The defense of Cloud9 holding on. Squishy loose. Gimmick comes in to help him. Now Torment, the follow, bumped again. Just these soft touches onto Torment, eliminating his ability to move the ball around. You see Turbo looking for Gimmick in net, but his teammates out on the front lines. Look at solid clears. Now Torment into his corner. Follow this Turbo onto the backboard, looking for goalies again. Not going to find any. Torment demoed out at midfield. So this strengthens the back line of Cloud9. He'll spawn in behind them. They can move up to midfield comfortably. Now K-Dop looking for Turbo pulls to the infield passes, and it does go through. Gale Force going to find the teamwork to make it a 1-goal game.
This is taking advantage of a team that's sitting too far back. Torment was not able to get there in time. Gimmick all the way back into net, which, to be fair, isn't a bad situation, but Squishy wasn't there to support him, So the moment you have that space, instead of just going for the shot on net, always looking for the teammate instead.
Felt to me like it might have started actually with that bump on that demolition onto Torment, and then 2 players moving out. So when he spawned back, he wasn't able to make that first touch, and then his teammates had to be all the way on the back line as they were moving back for boost. A lot of factors could go into the positioning here of these teams. Cloud9 moving it into the corner on the air dribble from Squishy. Here comes Gimmick, shot towards net. K-Dop's there and clears it away, but a follow-up from Torment and on to Gimmick with the backwards Torment. Beautiful shot to give him a 2-goal lead again.
The speed he had to come in to get this shot is what makes it so incredible. He was probably almost full speed, just barely doinked that into the corner. Good homage to Shogun and his doinks.
Yeah, there's one for the subpar button HD boys. Have fun with that one. That was beautiful. 2 minutes and 14 seconds on the clock, and Cloud9 looking good in game 4. Squishy, can he finish this one off again? Oh, it's going to go over to the side, but he had the defense all confused. The net was open to shoot at. Cloud9 looking in the form we saw them. Another one from Gimmick. K-Dop gets there. Oh, but that doesn't matter. Gimmick's shot still goes in. 3-goal lead.
Where was this Cloud9 in the first 3 games? Like, it's incredible.
It's the dominance, man.
Yeah, it's the dominance. He dusted out the old freestyler.
I mean, I think he's even has like the Bones decal. He's got the true Jazer tribute. Gimmick down to the floor. Turbo and Violent Panda trying to meet up. Squishy's got the read. Gimmick again, the doink pass this time. When we say doink, we're referring to just, you're just driving the car and you let the ball kind of bounce off you. It looks like you kind of just happen to be there.
I think doink's actually one of the only explanatory things. Just the word doink kind of makes up for it.
It does. It just we're using it as like a technical term.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just like it is a hilarious sounding technical term. Gimmick to follow this, pick up boost, and then continue to trace. It was a good pass play by Cloud9 earlier. Broke it up by a demolition right in front of the goal. And the Gale Force, maybe a bit of confusion. They're all completely piled up in front of it. It still works out, causes some confusion for the defense, in fact. And now a 2-goal game with 1 minute left.
They're taking advantage of all 3 players getting in the way, bumping each other. Even Cloud9's like, well, they're not going to make anything out of this, and they do. A minute to score 2 is super doable for Gale Force.
They could definitely come back into this, which would be quite the monstrous game. And remember, Gale Force win this one here. This match is over. They sweep Cloud9 and move into the finals. But Cloud9 really putting on the pressure and making a show out of it here in Utopia. Gimmick up. He'll look for goalies and for boost, but doesn't find either. And Violent Panda's got it over the top. Just Torment in the back right now. Sturbo pulls and moves in. K-Dop's in a good position. But they continue to play it back into the corner. Burning time off the clock. Gimmick, an excellent touch over the top of K-Dop. Violent Panda moves it back to the middle. Here's Squishy, trying to get it past K-Dop. Gets the pass out to Gimmick, and it's up. Gimmick's going to follow it along himself. Doesn't find anything. Turbo Pulse gets the clear. As the clock continues to wind down, that 2-goal comeback starting to look a little bit more difficult. Gale Force really needs to make this goal happen right now, but Squishy's going to make it so difficult on them. Still in a decent position as Turbo Pulse gets the pass up to Violent Panda, gets a demolition as well, but the shot is high, and the clock counting down. It'll pinch over to the side, and Torment can easily run this one down. Just glue it to the ceiling there, and as it comes back down, Cloud9 going to get a victory here in Game 4. We'll see Game 5.
I think Cloud9 should have a ritual. Essentially, whenever they go into a game, tell themselves, if we lose this, we're done. Because apparently that's what it takes to light the fire in them, and to really bring out the pace and the passes that we'd seen. They tied in shots, but previously to this, Cloud9 had always lost to Gale Force in shots pretty heavily. So I'm really happy to see that they're able to equal the essential offense pressure that Gale Force has been able to put on. But I want to see them keep this up, please. Please, Cloud9, keep this momentum up.
I think that was after the Gimmick doink. Oh my, what a play. This is very reminiscent of Flipside of old. The old dynasty of Rocket League that would always seem to find new energy and new strength when they were on the brink of elimination.
Yeah.
And it's one of the best features that a competitive team of any variety can have, to play your best under the absolute most pressure.
I don't know what you're talking about. That is probably one of the worst features to have, because you're always putting yourself in terrible situations.
You don't want to be put in that situation.
Great for us.
But to when you're under the most pressure, to not buckle and to be able to play your best at that moment, definitely a thing that they want to be able to do and to replicate here. So we'll get that Game 5 going shortly. It's it's amazing to watch these teams play right now. It's some absolutely beautiful Rocket League, and it's great. I'm enjoying that we're seeing Cloud9 stepping up and actually making fantastic plays too. It's not just the one side. We're not just watching Gale Force having some domination right now, making a series out of it.
I mean, it couldn't feel good to make it to day 3 and then not at least take a single game and not feel like you can play your own. And honestly, since the World Finals, I've still been waiting to see Cloud9 come out in their full power. And I feel like that was probably one of the games I've seen them closer in a while to really being able to get the passing plays in, get those infield passes, and really look for each other, which I feel like they've struggled with here and there, is to actually find each other on the field.
Man, such a great crowd we've got here today. All very excited to watch the Rocket League. I mean, I'm excited to watch it too. And it would
boost their egos. What do they
do? It's like Disney says. You can be anything you want to be. So, well,
good audience.
If they want to be a great audience, you can be a great audience, folks.
High bar you set for yourselves, guys.
Let's get into Game 5. That's what I want to see happen here. Cloud9 showing up in big fashion, okay, and making the thing that was different in Game 5. Or in Game 4. This is gonna sound maybe silly, but they were actually completing the plays that they had been trying to complete the previous 3 games, right? So we'll see if they can continue to do this here.
Closing, I think, is the word you're looking for.
Was that a wake-up call? Yes, getting some closure there. Wait, is this a wake-up call to the Gale Force, though? Do you think that they put it away here in Game 5?
I mean, I don't know if I'd call it a wake-up call because they were doing fine, and I think they're doing fine even for a little bit. You can see here Turbo Pulsa and Gimmick, 2 players to really keep out for. Gimmick maybe even seeming a bit quiet, but he still has incredible numbers. His teammates always talking about how good he is. He was quiet when he came in. No one really expected him to do as well as he has, but his teammates have really helped throttle him to a great place.
Turbo Pulsar, you saw 17 shots. Here's an 18th one. Puts it straight in. 18 shots in just this match here as Turbo Pulsar immediately gets Gale Force on the board.
Not a great way. Gimmick wanted to touch that out. Oh, no! Gimmick fell on to Squishy as he was going to challenge that up. Unfortunate situation. Sometimes your trajectories just manage to collide into each other, and that's going to just shove Squishy into the ground, and it'll leave a wide open net for Gale Force.
Gale Force with the lead. Could be all they need. Oh, but a miss from Turbo. This could just go straight in, and it does tie game.
All right, 0-0 scoreline, folks.
Everybody's gotten their mistakes in. Now we can play some Rocket League.
So Squishy actually got a flip reset off of that, too, which was actually kind of nifty. But it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
that is great.
Sometimes things like that happen, and then we play Rocket League. So let's get this match underway. Game 5 here. If Gale Force wins, they're through. That's going to be true about every game they play for the rest of this match. And every time Cloud9 gets a victory, they get one step closer to that ridiculous comeback. Here's another good one from K-Dop, getting some bumps onto the goalies as well. They were trying to make the defensive plays happen. And Squishy, a bit of a soft touch that K-Dop takes advantage of.
Well, essentially, Squishy wanted to drop that down for a teammate to follow through, but he wasn't really aware of how far his teammate was. His teammate was in his far corner, so there's really no world where he'd get to that quick enough where Gale Force wouldn't capitalize on.
Torment with the second touch, and then the demolition onto K-Dop. But the rest of Gale Force can be able to move this one back down the field. Turbo looking for the most drop shot of dunks. Squishy with a nice fake. Drawing it all the way down, and Gimmick was looking for the bump in net. But that didn't leave anyone really to shoot. And now this ball all the way back down. Gimmick should get there in time, and he'll be able to play it to the corner, but the pressure's still on from Gale Force. Another shot there, and Torment gets the save. Actually, Gimmick will take it from him. They're piled up right on top of each other. Violent Panda in. Wrapping this one around.
It's going to be a bit to Cloud9 are out of danger. They're kind of stepping on each other's toes right now. Losing out on boost, losing out on chances to pass each other. K-Dop.
Dangerous. K-Dop shot's a bit wide, but both goalies gone. Oh, and Turbo Pulsa misses. This leaves just Violent Panda in the back. He's got 2 players barreling down on him. Great tackle by Violent Panda to put it all the way back away. Squishy up on the wall. A win by Violent Panda. And then a neutral touch into the corner. Cloud9 picks up ball control. 2 consecutive touches into the corner. K-Dop wins that one. Torment now onto the backboard. Violent Panda to add some pace. Squishy, oh, look at the pass. Just softly out to Gimmick, straight back towards the box, but Violent Panda to get it away. 3:05 left on the clock right now. Gale Force holding on to a lead, a critical lead here in Game 5 as they look to put away Cloud9 for good.
Gale Force doing some interesting stuff there on defense. Oh my God!
Torment makes the save, but it was a ridiculous shot there from Turbo. We'll see it go all the way back into the Cloud9 corner. Back in, Torment Out towards Gimmick. Looks to get a pass, but Violent Panda's there. Right here at halftime, Gale Force holding onto the lead, going to try and extend it here. They get it off the post, and Gimmick will just pop it up, just get it away from Gale Force. They don't want that lead to extend right now. They need to keep this one close to give them a chance to come back into it.
Another double commit, and Gale Force saw it. I'm surprised they didn't want to go for the midfield cross. Kind of just gave up possession right back to Cloud9.
Here comes Squishy. Turbo Pulsa out to Violent Panda, now back to Turbo Pulsa. The pass play's coming through. Gimmick doesn't quite know what to do here, but he'll still get the read as the shot was a bit high.
I mean, that's the best thing he could have done.
Just wait it out, just hope they miss. Here comes Turbo over the top of two, shot towards net. This one goes in. Turbo Pulsa on fire right now as he just continues to rack them up here for Gale Force.
Really kind of disappointing to see Cloud9 seemingly fall apart right now. A lot of bad decisions on defense. Bad, I don't like even using the word bad, but a lot of not great decisions on defense. A lot of double commits, which at the core just not good at all for your team. You're always going to be out of position. They're a little bit late to the ball, but I mean, they still got some time to turn this around.
It still feels like Gale Force maybe just a few steps ahead, as their Turbo Pulsa saw that pass coming through early and was able to intercept it, and now looking for Gimmick in net. Violent Panda be able to put this one and loft it in front, off the touch from Gimmick, and K-Dop now onto the backboard. Is there any follow-up? No, we'll see it go away from the touch from Torment. But the pressure's still on as Gale Force is keeping his ball so deep in Cloud9 territory. A beautiful pass. Violent Panda's shot. Does he finish it? No, it's just sitting in the box, though. And Squishy has to play it away. Cloud9 still forced to play defense. The pressure just continues to pile on. And the hat trick for K-Dop as Gale Force takes the 4-1 lead.
On the way back up, you can see when it takes this long to get it out. The bump onto Gimmick. Torment thought he'd be able to control that and push it out. But a bump onto his teammate will just push that out way too gently for him. And Gale Force now 3 goals up.
They're continuing to build a monstrous lead. Make it more and more difficult for Cloud9 to see the light of Game 6. Turbo Pulsa will be happy to keep this ball just in the air. Anything that keeps it away from Cloud9 and ends the game more quickly. Do not give them chances to score, and a good decision to tackle there. Gimmick was looking for the fake, but he's got 2 teammates behind him. Just tackle him, and if you miss, you've got 2 more chances to block. Now Gimmick up looking for the boost star. He'll get it. Now in the corner. Doesn't make meaningful contact. And Turbo Pulsa doing work to move this down the field. He's got K-Dop in the middle.
Squishy all alone. Now he's got his teammates there.
He'll play that one off. Gimmick and Torment all looking to work together here. Bit of an aerial freestyle pass play. Squishy looking for the mind game, but Violent Panda, he's happy to let the ball just sit because, again, time is on Gale Force's side. And as this clock is counting down, they're putting Cloud9 in such a difficult place. Because Violent Panda, again, just the dribble plays, it just makes everything take longer and runs the clock down. And as we are hitting this final countdown here, it almost doesn't matter what Cloud9 does. They can score this right here, and it's not going to matter. Gale Force Esports, they drop Game 4, but in 5, they will finish this one off, put one more in for good measure, and they'll be headed into the finals.
The stats have been padded here by Turbo Pulsa in the final second of this series, and Gale Force still refused to show us any doubt, any reason to doubt them as a team, as someone that might take first place here in this tournament. Incredible play from them. We saw a spurt of Cloud9 there in the middle of that series. We really watched them wake up, and they took that game 4-2. They had so much control. I'd love to know, I'd love to chat with them and try and figure out exactly what it is that makes them feel like they're on or off, or when they can or can't. They were held to only 3 shots that entire game, forced to make 4 saves.
Absolutely. Gale Force leaving no doubt right now, as they are the #1 team in Rocket League, and they make it cleanly into the finals. They have dropped, I believe, 1 game in this entire tournament. Folks, let's take a look at the switch moment presented by Boost Mobile. Turbo Pulsa scored a hat trick there in the end of Game 5, but it was all back in Game #1, the longest game in Rocket League competitive history here. 8 minutes and 14 seconds as he put in the winner.
And again, that was actually one of my favorite overtimes to watch because the teams were just playing so aggressively. And this is the bracket. It is single elimination with just the 4 teams. So that would be the end of Cloud9 here at the ELEAGUE Cup. Gale Force will move ahead, and they're waiting to see who's going to take the game between Maka Esports and G2.
G2 Esports still alive here with the homeboy Kronovi. We'll see if they can finish this one off, give North America a hope in the grand finals. But folks, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, have some analysis on the desk, hear what they have to say about that 5-game series between Cloud9 and Gale Force. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll come back here to ELEAGUE.
wrong crowd will never walk alone. We are the way out. We are the ones you loathe. Call us the wrong crowd. We'll never walk alone.
Vladimir tries to make the save, but it's not going to happen. Violent Panda doing work. Who's going to be the first one to turn around Teleporter? And that is huge. There's going to be K-Dot. He's going to put it in. And K-Dot in this game is stepping up.
So Cloud9 gave a good account of themselves, but that isn't going to stop a relentless, remorseless Gale Force marching on to the final. And right now, Golden Boy is going to be talking to one of those Terminators on that team. It's Violent Panda.
Terminator indeed, Richard. I do agree with you there, man. This guy, Violent Panda, I mean, you know, your name's Violent Panda, so the violence is already implied. I do want to get some quick thoughts, though. How confident were you guys against Cloud9 going into this matchup?
Pretty confident. We lost against them before in DreamHack Atlanta. They got first place and we got second in the finals. But in general, we were really confident. We didn't think about it too much. Like, it will get your nerves up and everything, but we're pretty confident.
Now, in the first game, you guys had an insane overtime, 8 minutes. For those who may not be too familiar, playing in that kind of situation, what are you trying to avoid, and really, what are the comms like as well when you're in that 8-minute overtime?
In overtime, you try to make as little mistakes as possible, and that was showable in this match. Like 8 minutes is insane. I think it's the longest I ever had in a LAN match. I think the longest was by PSG against NRG, I think, in Canada. It was a tournament. But yeah, in general, you just try to focus as much as possible, and if you win, it's a real confidence booster.
Yeah, and you guys were able to carry that forward, but Cloud9 did manage to answer back in Game 4. Were you guys worried at all as you prep for game number 5?
To be honest, not really. We just try to keep calm, not worry at all, and get in the next game.
And is this going to be a Gale Force repeat? You guys won Season 4 finals. Are you going to do it again here at ELEAGUE?
I do hope so.
All right, well, we'll see Gale Force in the grand finals. Congratulations to Panda and the boys. Richard, over to you, my friend.
Indeed, we will. But first, let's start by talking about that match. I mean, even though if you looked at it on paper, it looks like Gale Force were completely dominant, definitely doesn't tell the full story. Starting with that incredible long overtime game.
Yeah, that overtime went for so long because in that game number 1, it felt like the Gale Force offense was still really kind of figuring out how to put the ball in the back of the net. There were multiple chances I feel like they should have had a goal. Let them slip through. Cloud9 battled as hard as they could, but I do have to correct Wavepunk. Cloud9 actually allows one of the most shots, as I misspoke yesterday. So that's not his fault. I'll own that. That was my fault.
So you planted the seed of falsehood,
yes, yes.
and it grew into a bitter tree of lies.
It's not your fault.
All right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that game, and it's like we said it was going to go the distance, and a lot of it because we saw it in that game number 4, what Cloud9 was truly capable of.
Yeah.
It's just they came out a little bit flat. They didn't really have the momentum after that overtime defeat. They talked about that while they were casting. Like, those are demoralizing to go that full distance and then not get the win at the end of it, too. So it seemed like that carried over. They tried their best and then put up against the wall. They came out Quan, and it worked out for a little bit, but then just right back down. Really difficult.
And you see hugs all around there at the end. Obviously, two teams that know each other very well. Great show of sportsmanship. But yeah, the thing that's frightening about Gale Force is time and time again, we've seen them start slow now, repeatedly, here at ELEAGUE, but they just go through the gears. It is unreal.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about it as well, about how you look at it. It's like, oh, it was dominating by Gale Force. The first 3 matches were all within
Real
one goal.
close.
Like, it's super close games.
Yeah.
And I mean, Violent Panda did a heck of a series. You saw it in the in-game scorecard right there. That guy had 8 assists. Tack on everything else he did. He's part of 11 goals total.
I feel that first game like just skews all stats. It was insane. Like 7 saves by Torment, like ridiculous.
We played 5 games. We might have played 7 with as much time we had. So
pretty crazy.
It was a long one.
But deserved victors for Gale Force, and they'll be feeling pretty confident ahead of the finals. But before that, you know what it's time for, Lola?
Ooh.
I do.
It's my favorite part of the show. It's Getting Technical, powered by Alienware, where you get to learn something at home, and indeed I do. And Lola, we're giving you another chance. You remembered the laptop. It's already better.
I already got the laptop, but there was a Windows update waiting for me when I brought it. So I was like, all right,
it's going to get you.
So we're a little scared, but we'll be all right. We'll be all right. All smiles here. So we're going to be talking about 50-50 challenges, what they do. 2 major things, positioning and timing, that affect what a 50-50 challenge is. So there's kind of a prime example of it. But when going through, there's certain things that you want to think about when you approach the ball and how they are going to affect the ball. So you see it here. 2 people approach the ball. Something crazy happens, and there's going to be some things that we can show that really explain that once we get into that next challenge. So as he's going to clear the ball here, there's 2 players that are going to be approaching the ball. The big thing that happens is, or the major things, like we said, is positioning and timing. Right now, Chaussette is underneath compared to where the ball is. That's not good. We don't want that. With Magnus, he is hitting it at the center of the mass of the ball, as well as has a higher positioning over the ball, which is great. That's fantastic. We want that. So when the ball meets, Chaussette is pushing it in favor of Magnus this way, but when the ball is coming across again over on top, Chaussette is going to just pinch that ball, and it's going to take all that positioning and all that, I guess, momentum and rocket it downfield.
Right.
Unfortunately for the team, see what happens. They get a goal.
Wow.
So a lot of things come into this challenges. There's a lot of different factors too. There's certain things and challenges that when you approach that ball that you want to have in mind as well. You see it here, Kronobi's trying to clear the ball out, but gets immediately contested by Remco and ends up, or Jake, the back of that name is cut off, couldn't see that. But it gets contested and goes into his own net. There's a lot of things that on offense and on defense that you want to do when that happens. A lot of it has to do with maintaining possession, forcing something for your team, denying a clear, setting up a teammate who may be shadowing you. You see that primarily on like a kickoff where, for the most part, a lot of it is just, okay, we're going to meet at the middle, set up for my teammate, and then push it past. So a lot of it, once again, do that positioning and that timing. You see Kronobi is just trying to clear the ball out and bring it back downfield, but Jake says he has that higher ground. All he has to do is just hit it, and it goes right towards the net. Really simple stuff for him on that one. If I can hit that arrow, there we go. But right into his net, just gets a little bit lucky on that 50-50, but it ends up pushing right into that. Super easy for him. So as a whole, it looks really simple. Just run at it and hit it as center on as you possibly can, but there's so many factors that go into it after the end.
Lots of split-second decisions and timing.
That's
kind of like you handling the laptop there.
Hey,
but
man.
We did it. We did it.
But you redeemed yourself. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a
Appreciate the
solid
second opportunity.
A+.
Yeah.
I will give you a perfect
Thank
score.
you.
Well
Last
done.
time you gave me faith, and I
And
just
that
didn't
wasn't
know what the power
enough,
button was,
so I do apologize.
All right. Well, we are going to take a break. When we come back, though, we are going to see the legend Kronovi in action when G2 Esports take on Mocket. We'll see you soon.
So, what do you think?
No.
This is my favorite.
No. 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 No.
Close one.
100 billion ways to customize your battle car in Rocket League. Play for fun, live to play. Rated E for everyone.
So Kronovi will be hoping to lead his G2 Esports team to the final. And earlier today, the poster boy for Rocket League met the golden boy of Rocket League in the Cheez It Grooves Player Lounge.
All right, thank you so much, Rich. I'm down here at the Cheez It Grooves Player Lounge with the one and only Kronovi. Crow, you guys had a pretty rough time against Gale Force yesterday, looking to kind of turn that around here today. What were, I guess, the discussions like post-match?
Well, we were really excited about making playoffs. That was kind of like our goal for the team. So going into the Gale Force game, knowing that it was really just for seeding, we thought, okay, we'll kind of take it slow, figure out what we need to do. And I'd rather, get swept by Gale Force yesterday in the group stage than get swept today in bracket. So hopefully we're looking better.
What specifically did Gale Force do that caught you guys off guard?
We don't get to play Gale Force very much. So their reads and their speed are unlike any other team. I mean, they're a World Championship caliber team. So getting to play them and getting to kind of push yourself to play just a little bit faster to beat them really makes us a better team.
Now, you have an opponent in Mocket here that is, I think a lot of people didn't really give the time of day coming into this competition, but here they are looking very strong. Thoughts on Mocket as you get ready for your game?
I think Mocket are pretty underestimated at this event. We kind of underestimated them. Didn't expect them to just be sweeping their group. But we've played them once before at the World Championship stage, and we went all the way to 5 games here in a best of 7. We're not looking to go all the way. They're looking strong, but I think we're looking stronger.
All right, Crow, always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend. And Rich, over to you.
So Kronobi confident of making the final, but Pashi and Mocket might have something to say about that. They're going to hope their miracle run continues, and we'll find out if it does after these messages. Welcome back to the E-League Cup, where there is a pigeon among the fans. And if Mocket Esports are able to beat G2 Esports, there may be a cat among the pigeons. I'm your host, Richard Lewis, and joining me on the desk, we've switched it up. We have got the Cowboy Wave Punk joining us here. And live.
What do you got?
Live from his shift playing piano in the hotel lobby. It is findable carpet. How you
making
doing?
fun of the jacket, man?
No, I like it, dude. It's all good. So look, I'm hoping you like the look of this semi-final because, Mucket Esports have been on this miracle run. Nobody really gave them much credence. Going up against G2 Esports, Kronovi, you heard in that interview, said he feels that they're a much stronger team. I don't know about that. What do you guys think?
I think it's tough to say you're stronger than a team that just went undefeated in their group stage. Not that I don't think they have the capacity, but G2 is always the squad that whenever you want to have faith in them, you never know if you're going to get it. But Mucket right now, it's a team that I never really chose them, and I think right now I'm starting to pay that price, and I'm really happy to see them really bring this out.
Yeah, I feel like these are two teams that can both be characterized by are they on or are they off. They've both been on this tournament, so I'm expecting a great match between them, but Mucket is absolutely on fire in a way that they have never been at this stage in Rocket League, so I'm excited to see them here, and we could absolutely have just another Europe versus Europe finals.
I mean, that's what Lawler said when he was on the desk talking about how he can't sleep on Mucket, and Achieves is pointing at himself. Yes, he agreed as well. All these three players have turned up in a way we haven't seen before.
And just as far as, looking at teams and how they've been performing, Fairy Peak, something happened. He ate his vegetables at LAN. I don't know what it was. He went nuts. Everyone agrees the dude played out of his mind at the World Finals, and he's doing so even right now. He's keeping that up, which is so difficult to do. You look at his stats compared to Kronovi right here. 34 shots alone as a player. That's incredible.
Yeah, 9 goals. Like I said, I don't know what he's been doing, but yeah, absolute huge performance from him here at the E-League Cup. But that being said, G2 Esports, they're saying we're the favorites for this one, right? Which, I'm in kind of green carpet here. I don't know where they're kind of pulling that from. It's good to be confident, but Mucket are looking a different beast here.
I mean, they're all, this whole thing started with me on the desk giving the quote-unquote pity vote to Mucket, and at this point, I've given them a vote a few times, and at this point, there's nothing pity about it. I really believe that this team is in a new form, is playing to the best of their abilities. My only question, the only kind of big question mark in my mind is, did something change overnight? Did one of them get a bad sleep? Are they going to play the same way they have the last 2 days? But there's nothing that they've done that would make me think otherwise, that they would not show up today. So I really think Mucket's going to have their hand. G2's going to have their hands full with Mucket.
Yeah. So predictions then, gentlemen.
All right. So I ran into Pashy in the hallway, and I was like, "Hey, good luck later today." And he's like, "Who you going to pick?" And I don't want to tell him early on, right? I'll tell you later. He's like, "You got G2, don't you?" And I'm a little disappointed that he assumed I just fanboy it up because I've got Mucket to take the series.
Nice.
I'm honestly just I've been actually 6 for 6 so far on the desk for predictions.
Wow.
And this is probably going to end right here because I just jinxed it, but I'm going to go with Mucket on this one too.
All right.
I think Mucket's got this.
Both of our analysts are in for Mucket. It's now time to take you over to the Boost Mobile caster desk where we've got Lawler and Achieves to get their thoughts. Take it away, gentlemen.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Richard. So they're both in agreement about Mucket. I said all Europe final. You said, well, actually, no, you didn't say.
I didn't say.
And you're not going to. You never will.
You're learning here. I'm glad. I'm glad.
Slowly figuring things out. It should be a really good one, though, because, I mean, like you said, or like the desk said, Mucket have looked absolutely fantastic. G2 have looked great as well. And it all starts here on DFH Stadium. Currently, Pashy off the back wall, and Mucket looking to start things off early. And G2 able to find a nice answer. It's Fairy Peak off the side wall, nice tap down into the corner. Kronovi also to the opposite end. J-Naps into the middle, should be a free ball. Kronovi just losing out. Rizzo has a pass lined up. Actually off the ceiling is Pashy into the corner. Fairy Peak gonna have to try and stay with this one. He's back in the octane again. Actually towards net, Rizzo makes a nice save. Back wall, Freaky, almost open, delays the touch, and into the bottom left. It's just wide, however. Kronovi can't find the clear. Fairy Peak goes into the middle. J-Naps makes a save as well, and G2 having to play defense for a little bit in the first minute.
Mucket offense really showing up here early, shot after shot, keeping this defense on their back heel, as they haven't really been able to break out a half in the first minute. That ball still in the corner and up in a dangerous position.
A lot of free balls. Fairy Peak into the middle. Kronovi pinches it off the bar and makes a 6 save. Pashy off the back wall, can't get it. And Rizzo finally out into space. Like you were talking about, those 50-50s. G2 trying to force some options, get it out into space, buy some time to get some boost. Fairy Peak one more time into the corner. J-Naps trying to track this one down, somehow gets it over the top of one. Off the side, free ball for G2. Rizzo's going to be off that back wall. Tough bounce. Kronovi back post and out wide off the post.
Seems to be the story for this first minute and a half. Shots on net, but barely missing for both teams.
JNAPS off the ceiling over to Rizzo, just able to get it back down. It's towards the net, and already Pesci's back there. This might be the first time. No, Pesci's car is pink. I was like, I don't remember the last time I haven't seen Pesci's car be pink. Or purple and pink. It's Fairy Peak up to make this block off the ceiling. Here comes Kronovi, pass to Rizzo, a lot to pick from, and finds the top center. G2 on the board first.
Nothing more stored than these two working together. Just one settling in the mid. Pesci has a little bit of a delay. It's actually because he's low on boost, doesn't have the ability to even go up and challenge. Does the right thing though, gets the net, tries to make a save, but that 1-2 coming out from G2, too strong to defend.
Very solid idea. Kronovi's always been a great team player. Kronovi, in general, actually, this would be his first grand final at a Major Live since Season 1. It would be good for him to get all the way back there and relive that potential championship moment. Rizzo around the corner, can't get it through Pesci cleanly. Freaky giving it right back. G2 figuring out how to clear the ball currently. Fairy Peak's kind of lurking in the midfield. He will get a pass over to Pesci. It's going to be a bit of a race to the ball, though. JNAPS will delay this push for Mocket. Rizzo again from the middle of the pitch. Fairy Peak makes another nice save. And like they were talking about on the desk, Fairy Peak has been all over the place for this Mocket crew. Pesci, top corner. Kronovi, easy save. Dishes it out to Freaky. Weak shot, and JNAPS will have no problem with that one.
Need to be careful though, that clear. Only a subtle pass over to his teammate for Rizzo. Had to completely kill the momentum. It gets popped up. Dangerous position, but luckily for them, Mocket falling back, trying to get that boost, but all in rotation. As you notice, still on that side of G2.
JNAPS towards the middle, delayed by Pesci. Rizzo, second chance to clear. Here comes Fairy Peak now. It's off the back. Is Freaky anywhere to be found? He's waiting so patiently in the midfield. Doesn't want to throw off the rotations. Will let Pesci handle this one. Missing that pass over to Fairy Peak. Fairy Peak actually went back to the corner to get boost. Kronovi taps it towards the side as JNAPS, again, a little bit of an awkward touch. It's making it so difficult for G2 to try and get this ball out. Just not able to follow up these little touches cleanly because their positioning is just slightly off. Fairy Peak pass towards the top. Rizzo has to go get it, and thankfully he will just get enough on the ball to throw it into the corner, but Pesci's coming in hard. And Mocket still, despite all these awkward scenarios G2 have found themselves in on defense, Mocket not able to find the back.
Really smart move by JNAPS as well. Doesn't have the boost to go up and challenge. Pushes it right into the corner. Immediately beelines. Oh, a shot off the crossbar. Barely missed. 1 minute left on the clock.
Rizzo, actually they give up on it. It's going to be JNAPS to try and follow through. Rizzo's going to make an attempt to give it back. It's an awkward play again. There's Kronovi to follow it up into the middle, and G2's up by 2 with 45 left.
Wide open net, but playing so smart. We saw this all throughout the week from G2. Play really defensive. It's okay as long as these goals don't go in, and when the opportunity is there, strike. G2 does it just there again.
So a nice play from G2. Kronovi and JNAPS able to hook up, find the back of the net. Now they look to start off game number 1 with a solid victory, but as we all saw, Mocket yesterday, 2 reverse sweeps in a row.
It's all part of their plan, man. They just want to lose 2 right away. In this case, it's going to be 3. Maybe that's the difference. It's best of 7.
It's too long, man. Oh my goodness, 3 people dive at it for G2. JNAPS, actually Kronovi made the save. JNAPS in control at the side. Around the back, Freaky makes a stop. Here's Pesci now. Rizzo just a little bit too early on the draws. This one off the back from Kronovi. Easy save for JNAPS, lofted forward. He's got a lot of space to work with. Actually, pass to Rizzo goes right past him, and G2 will not get a 3rd goal to wind down game number 1. But the important thing is they come away with the victory as Mocket try to put 1 more on the board before moving on. And that is just not going to happen. Kronovi to JNAPS, pops it high. Rizzo's going to come forward, and Pesci says, no, let's move on. Come on, guys.
Just let it touch, boys. Let's go to the next one.
Wait.
Come on.
Wait.
Nope,
Okay.
nope,
Oh.
nope.
Okay. Fairy Peak can't get the flick. Rizzo.
Really, boys? Come on.
I believe. Someone put it in.
Okay, we did it.
Freaky's no fun. It's okay. G2, nice start to the series, but does that make a difference is the question, as Mocket have proven themselves very fatal coming off of multiple losses.
Well, most of G2 has definitely spoken openly about a crowd and the favor that they get and how much does help when these guys are going off. So starting off early, getting that momentum, getting the crowd behind them, getting that energy, maybe a big difference maker here.
I wonder how important, because we saw Lethamir in his interview yesterday, they're like, scoring first is a huge part of the games. He said the statistic for him, I believe, was like 85%, something crazy like that. So G2 on the board first to come out on top. Maka really not able to get things going as much as they would like. Plenty of shots on the net. They didn't really have a problem generating chances. In fact, they actually outshot G2. So it's really interesting to see Maka not be able to find the back of the net, considering they were also the number one offense throughout all of RLCS Season 4. You'd think they would have a little bit of an easier time finding the back of the net.
I mean, that was the story of the first game. Maka on offense, bunch of shots, just not able to find the net. We saw it in the first 2 minutes roughly where both teams had a bunch of shots on net, but it was just missing off to the side very, very close. And then as the game started to fall apart, that G2 defense really took a toll on Maka as that next man who was supposed to follow suit and put that shot on net just wasn't there. They gave him that space, and then G2 really turned it around and punished.
Well, game 2 about to begin shortly. As you see Rizzo on your screen there. I wonder if he woke up and did his body rolls to get himself warmed up. Because that's what we're all here for. That's why we watch Rizzo on stream, for the dance moves, to be honest. He's got the best dance moves on all of G2, actually.
Yeah, we're just about ready to get in, but JNAPS didn't quite make it, so we're going to remake real quick.
It's
We'll
okay,
be right back
JNAPS.
at it.
It's
but-
okay. We've got it.
Yeah, we'll wait for you, man. It's all right.
So let's see. Let's talk a little bit more about Maka, because we've got a little bit of time. Fairy Peak. I missed it. What was it? I wasn't
I don't
looking.
know. I was
we both
waiting.
missed it.
Yeah, I was looking and I was super excited. Hey, crowd, can you help us out? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, Pashy's showing off his shoes. Nice.
Ooh.
I dig it.
I'm curious
It's
what
nice
they were.
guys.
Either
I'm
way.
sure they're massive, too. That's a tall boy.
He is a tall guy. Pashy's what, like 6'4",
6'7"?
6'7"? You're kidding.
No, have you seen him next to Golden Boy?
Yeah, I didn't think it was possible for anyone to be taller than Wave.
Well, Wave said earlier that he was like one of the
Oh,
only
look at
pros
those.
that's taller than him.
Straight white Nikes. Ooh. All right. I'm glad we could experience that.
Thanks, Pashy.
Thanks, Pashy is right. He was number 10 overall in shots taken, actually, for RLCS Season 4. He's been around Rocket League since, I don't know, forever. Swarm Gaming, hello. The beginning of Rocket
That's
League.
a name I have not heard.
I know, right? With who else was on Swarm?
Pashy.
Pashy and other people. It's in my rival series notes. There was a bunch of people. I think it was Dedu who was on that as well.
Dedu pretty much played for everybody way back.
Dedu did play for everyone. But game number 2 begins now. It's going to be G2 and Maka again. G2 able to start off well, and again, more offense to start off game number 2 for Maka. Rizzo passed down. Fairy Peak cuts it off. Granovi tries to keep this one close. Freaky eyeing out the challenge in the midfield. Punches straight across, and Pashy trying to read this touch from JNAPS off the wall. It might be a little bit.
Good patience from JNAPS on that one, too, just avoiding the challenge altogether.
Hello, open net, and that will do it. Fairy Peak finally finds the back of the net for Maka, and they're on the board.
Wide open net. Just Fairy Peak calls on that one. It goes over the cross. And as G2, with Kronovi trying to challenge that, Freaky just stuffs him. It bounces right back mid for Fairy Peak. And like you said, wide open net. Good start for Maka here in game number 2.
Unfortunate break there for G2. He says, I need this boost in the corner, and oh my gosh, I can't make it back in time. I don't think I've ever seen Fairy Peak miss a wide open net in all the games that I've seen him play. So I would have been very shocked had Maka not converted that one. JNAP slow roller, and Freaky taps it into the corner. Nice demo from Fairy Peak on the way back. It was also a big thing that Fairy Peak and K-Dop, when they were both on Maka for Season 3, they had a really good habit of, whenever they rotated out of the backfield, just demoing people in the back line, and Fairy Peak showing a little bit of that here.
Oh, ball plays into the corner. Kronovi trying to play it slow, gets over past one, but Rizzo swoops in to help with the second. Immediately seeing JNAPS rotate back in the net, pays off as he's able to play this one out to mid to his teammate, dropping it down low and over the top. Good transition from them to get back onto offense.
Yeah, I definitely like the passing from G2. Fortunate that they, as in Maka, weren't able to really grab control as Kronovi kind of handed it to him, but JNAP's off the sidewall now. Actually, he's able to go through Fairy Peak as well. Pashy's going to have to delay a little bit as Freaky needs to grab this corner boost and get in position. Pass into the middle, and Freaky off the back wall makes a save. JNAP's into the corner for Kronovi, and just off the nose, can't get there.
Just a little bit low on boost. Had the ability, but another one immediately responded. G2 ties it up.
A nice job to not get rattled by the missed passing play. JNAPS makes an adjustment, gets this one nicely out towards the top of the box, well out of reach of all the defenders in the net, and Rizzo picks a spot and just rifles it in there. A nice goal from G2. So another kickoff incoming in game number 2. Granovi, first one to it, taps it a little bit shorter than he would have liked. Pashy just got on top of it.
Trying to get bumped there too. Pashy able to dodge it at the same time as making the save.
Granovi returning the favor that Fairy Peak did. Demoing out of the backfield. Fairy Peak towards the side. Granovi's not actually able to make a challenge or get the boost. Rizzo launches it downfield. Will be cut down by Fairy Peak. Kronovi, JNaps, as this one's off the corner. He's up there first, wants the lower right, and actually it's going to bounce into the top right. Kronovi makes it 2-1.
Nice shot by Kronovi as well with that placement. Just shadowing this the whole way down. He waits for JNaps to make that touch. Plays it perfectly in the corner, waits for his opportunity, and then comes in for the strike. Only about 30 boost on him as well, making it count there.
And you're seeing a little bit of the problems that Mach had all RLCS. They allowed a lot more shots than they would have liked on net. That's been one of my biggest qualms with how they play.
I like that word.
Qualms. It is a good word. It is
a lot of trouble for it, too.
What?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Are we roasting me, Walden?
No.
I'm used to carpet roasting.
It was on me.
Okay.
It was on me.
Okay.
Build your brand. That's all you guys know.
Rizzo off the side. Fairy Peak first one to it. It's actually on target. JNaps will tap it high and into the corner. Freaky pass to Pashy, and that will be cut down by JNaps. Rizzo going to make the second save attempt. Kronovi has a lot of time to work with here. Off the ceiling to JNaps. Pashy up there nice and early, but can't get to it. Freaky air dribble. Does not go for a pass. Doesn't really have anyone to get it to. Pashy off the corner, and Fairy Peak is going to have to wait. They missed the clear, and he'll slam it home. It's tied up.
Pretty common issue for G2 when they are denied boost on that back end. They just force things they don't need to. Rather than chasing this the whole time, someone needs to go up in position on that back where they all just move kind of in a synchronized motion, and it catches them all off guard. Mocket now tying it up. 2 minutes left, 2-2, and a bunch of twos yet again.
Yeah, you had Deuces Wild yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah. It wins a hand every once in a while.
It does. Pocket twos. A lot stronger than people think. Fairy Peak off the bar, and JNaps makes a save. Oh, so close for Mocket.
Speaking of pocket cards, I mean, pocket aces used to be the old team for Pashy and Violent Panda. So, little trivia there for you guys.
Oh.
As they sneak. Oh, what a save! No way, Kronovi.
No, he doesn't make it. That hurts. Fairy Peak somehow able to get just enough on it, but so close.
What a save initially. That shot was right on the money, just able to get there in time. Kronovi not able to land and get in there. The recovery just a little bit too late. This game swings now back into the favor of Mocket Esports.
Fairy Peak, he's got himself a nice hat trick here in game number 3. 2 assists. 4 Freaky, 1 for Pashy. Is this one out into the middle? It should be a free ball for G2 as Pashy trying to close the gap. JNaps all alone and can't get it over the top of FP.
Fortunately for him, he was looking to go for a dunk on that one too, just didn't have the boost to get up in front of it.
Fairy Peak softly. JNaps misses the dribble. It still gets Pashy to bite and just sails over the ball. Rizzo now in a one-on-one, and Freaky just not even going to let the dribble start.
Ball popped up into the corner. You can see Kronovi take that backward and clear it. Ends up going for a half flip and canceling it.
Nice pass from Pashy. Here comes Rizzo. He's too slow. Freaky to Fairy Peak, and it's in the right side. What a shot from FP.
This is the Mocket offense coming alive in game number 2 here. Just Freaky playing this really well, using that corner preemptively. And even before it hits, you see Fairy Peak up so fast. It seems like he does no wrong. Ever since that World Championship performance, he has been on fire.
Absolutely on fire is right. He's been such a nice ace in the hole for the Mocket crew. There's Kronovi around the side. Rizzo, really awkward touch. Fairy Peak looks to take advantage. It's going to bounce for Pashy. It's towards net off the back wall, and G2 with a chance to reset, excuse me. Kronovi wants the bump, gets Fairy Peak right in the nose. JNaps can't get the follow through though in the final 30 seconds or so. Continuing to tick, pass to Rizzo, pass to Kronovi, and it's just a little high, just got under it a little too close on the initial jump, and Pashy drives it down the other way, and with that, tough to say if G2 can really get much going. This might be their last chance. Rizzo towards the net, easy save for Fairy Peak. Final 5 seconds tick down. Mocket tie up the series at 1-1, and in no small part to Freaky and Fairy Peak. That one goes just wide, and game 2 finds its way to the ground.
Credit definitely going to Fairy Peak on that one, just all over the pitch, being in the right place at the right time. And you even see it even from those wide shots, just a shot on net, even despite being saved. That's got to hurt for Kronovi. He's so close to it. Pashy at the bottom of the scoreboard, but doing everything he can in his power, setting up his teammate, getting around the field, just being at that right moment. You even saw it. The challenges that he's missing, even though he is missing it, it's slowing that contest and the ability to move it back downfield. killing it completely.
Exactly. That was actually the big point that I wanted to make. Pashy was, despite not generating a lot of score for his team, a big reason for a lot of the success that Fairy Peak and Freaky had on offense. So, well played, but G2 really, the biggest issue I'm having is one, the little touches in their own half, they're a little awkward. They're just not able to follow up the ball cleanly. They get a few passes, but the problem is they're not able to continue that attack downfield. Once they gain possession, they have this nasty habit of just launching it right back down onto the Maka side.
It's difficult. You see the way this Maka team's contesting. They're not really allowing for them to maintain that kind of pressure on offense, whether it be, a subtle demo or anything else. Like, Maka's just handling it really well.
Yeah, but when G2 does have that opportunity, it's just not the cleanest transition to offense I would like to see. But either way, putting up a pretty solid fight here versus Maka, because Maka have looked absolutely fantastic in days 1 and 2, the clean 3-0. G2, of course, their only loss in the group stage over to Gale Force. And now they look to advance to Kronovi's first grand final appearance. Game 3 begins now on Utopia Coliseum. And Rizzo and Fairy Peak for the kickoff. It goes in favor of Maka. JNAP's around the corner. There's Pashy to try and cut one down. Kronovi tries to get it over to Rizzo. It's just a little bit out of reach. Freaky around the side. Kronovi actually able to pinch that ball all the way back to the opposite end of the pitch. It will be Maka in command. Fairy Peak delays. There's a follow-up from JNAPS, but still in favor of Orange. Pass to the top of the box, and Rizzo makes a nice stop.
Both teams at this point tied up in the series in goals. First one to make that difference happen here as the shot comes out. A contest from JNAPS, and Kronovi puts it top left.
A nice shot from Kronovi here. You can see all of Maka, they all have to rotate back in the net at the same time. A little double commit there in the corner. Leaves Freaky in a bit of an awkward spot. Tough play to make. If he had just rotated a little bit deeper into the net, perhaps he could have made it. But otherwise, another nice start on the offensive side of things for G2 here in Game 3.
Either way, a beautiful challenge from JNAPS on that one. Trying to do it again here. The ball pitches down. Fairy Peak setting up his teammate. Has the ability to get it around and almost immediate recovery.
Wow.
You see Freaky with the side flip. G2 with the opportunity to bring it down, plays it, hits it inside off the backboard, but a miss from Kronovi. But the pressure still on. G2 trying to find something to increase this lead.
JNAPS, easy enough save for him. Already back set on defense. Rizzo on the dribble. It goes right under Pashy. Fairy Peak gets it thrown over his head too with the demo off the back wall. It's wide open, and that is going to be 2-0 G2.
Beautiful display of attention to detail on this one. The ability to play that back inside immediately, demo, and then after, rather than taking the shot with an approaching defender, he plays it back off the wall. And then on the backside too, JNAPS gets a bump on a spawn. Every single angle is covered.
And it was, again, it all started with that nice challenge from Rizzo. It's so easy to get antsy, flick that ball forward, just says, no, wait, I know Pashy's going to jump to try and make this. And then he went right through him off the bar and kept away.
This is the G2 we've been waiting for. The one that we never are sure which one's going to show up. They're playing everywhere on this field absolutely perfectly.
Here comes Pashy from the side wall. Back wall, can he get it himself? Just comes up short. Fairy Peak takes on a dribble, cuts it back left. Not enough power behind it. And Maka struggling to stay in possession here. As Rizzo up nice and early, and it will be a race. Kronovi just takes the ball away. Fairy Peak gave up on it. Made a nice adjustment, though, to at least delay this push from G2, and it's just in front of Rizzo. One more time out of the corner from Pashy. Golden striker from Europe trying to set up Freaky, and that is no problem for G2. Odd to see G2 all just waiting in their net, saying, hey, I mean, we know you're going to shoot it.
Sometimes you just got to pack the box of Chiefs. You never know where that angle is going to go. Just stick as many bodies as you can and hold, but that time it's not going to matter. Pashy over the top, back within one.
A really nice dribble here from Pashy. At the start of Rocket League, that was basically all he was known for. He's the dribble master. And JNAP's in a very tough position, not even set on defense, has no effective way to turn around and make a challenge. And Pashy says, yeah, I know I've got you beat. Goes high in the net, and it's a nice shot to get him right back into the game.
Sometimes you just got to go back to your basics. Use what worked for you in the past.
Back wall for G2. Kronovi hands one to Fairy Peak. Maybe got a little bit too much on it. Gesture returned by G2. JNAPS goes right under one. Pashy's going to leave this for Fairy Peak. Rizzo gets beat. Kronovi has Pashy beat. Out to JNAPS. They give it right back to 1-2. And that is a sick play, and they go up by 2 again.
What a passing play from G2. Just everybody get involved yet again. Kronovi over to JNAPS immediately back. And then the placement. At that point, it doesn't even matter. You can't react to that unless it's preemptive. Shot on net, back up by 2. We're halfway through game number 3, and what a series this has been.
Jump and hope is your only defense against that. Freaky off the side. Fairy Peak knows he can't get it, leaves it for Kronovi. Slow challenge, and Pesci goes right into the middle. Rizzo to himself. Back wall, does he have it? JNaps is going to help him out and actually pushed it wide. Surprising to see him miss that. We've seen him hit much tighter angles than that.
He was actually trying to avoid those two defenders. If he would have hit it straight on, it would have been safe.
Rizzo over to JNaps, up the side. Slow dribble, right through Freaky. Pesci, no problem out of the corner. Tries to go over the top, and Kronovi just catches a piece, and Freaky now in charge, just launches it downfield. Rizzo able to win the challenge in the air. It's out in front as Kronovi's a little bit too high, and Pesci will dish it to Fairy Peak. Minute 35 remaining here. Mockett again struggling to break this wall of G2 as Fairy Peak comes down, and it is kept at bay by JNaps.
This team looks so strong when everybody's on. Normally it's just one or two players for this G2 squad that's stepping up, but everybody making these clean touches, these saves, this challenge.
Ooh,
doing such a good job.
A little bit of a mistouch might grant a few extra chances here for Mockett to give themselves a 1-goal difference as Freaky Fairy Peak, excuse me, jumped just a little bit early. It's a pass to JNaps and just out of range. This one downfield for Mockett. Pesci gonna eye up this bounce in the corner. He is able to get it through Rizzo. Here comes JNaps, soft tap to try and keep it close, and Rizzo delays this challenge from Fairy Peak. For Pesci towards the net, and Rizzo can't get there. It's 3-2.
Much better job by Mockett on the back end of this match. Just getting those contestant early, maintaining the pressure on offense. Eventually it leads to him. We talked about how to hit the ball with that hitbox earlier this week. Pesci using the underside of his car right in the center, so it adds a little bit of oomph to it rather than killing the momentum. Works out well as we go into the last 45 seconds of match number 3.
Oh, nice save from Fairy Peak there. Here comes Rizzo off the sidewall. Perhaps not as much sideways power as he would have liked. Kronovi yields to JNaps. It's off the ceiling, and that will be Freaky now. Pesci downfield. Final 30 for Mockett. Need an equalizer here. Fairy Peak with a chance. Pesci is double committed, and that is going to just kill this drive as Freaky gives it over to G2, and they just... That one small error in rotation might cost Mockett a little bit too much time here in the waning seconds. JNaps takes this on a dribble, wastes even more time. Pesci up the side. Ceiling to himself, misses that touch, is not as clean as he would like at least, and that is going to do it. G2 take game 3. And with that, they've also stopped Mockett from being able to reverse sweep.
It's probably the biggest accomplishment that they're actually looking for, is like, just don't allow a reverse sweep. We've got to throw game 2. It'll be fine.
Throw game 2, yes.
But again, Kronovi absolutely crucial on offense. 3 goals, getting himself a hat trick, while JNaps assisting every single one.
Yeah, JNaps has been a huge offensive force all season long for G2. That pass play was absolutely beautiful.
And it's like, it can get better too, which is what the scary part is like, you could have placed that a little bit better, but still just doesn't matter. Everybody so crisp, so clean on those.
So JNaps, number 2 overall in score generated through RLCS Season 4. Behind Magnus. Magnus was number 1, unsurprisingly. That guy.
Both teammates point at him and say, he's the best.
He's the best, yeah. Unsurprising there for Method, but JNaps is kind of that same way. He was actually number 2 overall in shots taken behind KDOP. KDOP put the ball towards the back of the net 216 times. JNaps right behind him at 198, so a little bit of a differential, but you're talking about a guy who is a huge offensive force, and to see him set up his teammates in equal part here shows that he can really do it all as a great team player. As game number 4 begins now. Mockett, again, looking to tie up the series, and G2 looking to put a stranglehold on it.
Well, that's nothing more you want out of a teammate, is someone who can really do it all. And they've been able to rely on that for so long, but I think that's been really different for me in G2 in this series, is the fact that the other 2, Rizzo and Kronovi, really stepping up to help him out. So he can just kind of play that more passive role on the back end, allow his teammates to generate that activity, and then kind of just clutch it.
Well, it begins now in game number 4 as Pesci up the side to Freaky out to Fairy Peak. It's a tough angle, and he just opts to try and pass it, and Kronovi says this is not going to happen at all. Demo's Freaky in the midfield, and Pesci delays the push. Pesci again gets it put right under him, slides through everybody, and G2 is trying to figure out how to pass this ball. It's towards the top. JNaps delays. It's a soft tap towards the corner, and nice save from Fairy Peak.
Initial creation coming out from JNaps on his rotation back, getting a bump on that last defender. It's why it went by. Not able to find it, but still have the offensive pressure coming out.
JNaps back wall. Rizzo has a free ball. A surprise as that one just floated right out in front of Freaky. Surprising to see him miss that ball. Rizzo just not able to react in time. JNaps has a little bit of room to work with here. Freaky right over to Rizzo, gives it over to Pesci pretty much. He's got some time to work with too. JNaps coming in quick, demo in the net, bar down and out. Fairy Peak will tap this into the corner. And again, Makitaja another bullet as here's another one. JNaps not able to go through Fairy Peak.
Now you and I had this, quite a large discussion as well about teams that are really bump heavy. And I was like, you know what, it's been Ghost as of late. And you kind of talked about, no, it's actually been G2. G2's been playing really aggressive. And they just kind of get away from that. They only do it when they're playing confident. So glad to see them break it out here.
Top corner, Rizzo, some space to work with. Lands a little weird, and Pesci will just stop that push. Krenovi off the side, over to JNaps, and that's trying to get it into space. Freaky just takes it away, and Rizzo will cut that one down. Pesci leading Fairy Peak to boost, but JNaps, a great angle to cut down that try and clear. Rizzo off the tail, Krenovi to follow up, and Fairy Peak and Pesci both again committing to try and get this out. That is a little bit of a problem that Mach have had. A little bit too divey at the ball on defense as two more dive out of the net.
So much pressure coming out from G2 right now. Not only are they putting these shots on net, preemptively going up for these shots, but then the demos just allowing them to keep it. But luckily for Mach, they're able to break it out, get some chances here.
Krenovi has all the time he could ever ask for here. And again, just launches it downfield. That's one of those things I was talking about. They have all the time in the world and they kind of hand it to him. Fairy Peak goes over the top and JNaps, not sure if he got that boost in the corner. So this one around the back. Rizzo takes his time with it. Just missing out that boost as well. Krenovi's in a really weird spot. Thankfully, they put the ball in a place where he can just drive up to it. Straight out sideways, 1-2 tap. JNaps makes the solid adjustment, taps it into the corner, but Freaky tries to set up a follow through, and that will be nicely over the head of Fairy Peak. And again, deadlocked at zeros, past the halfway point. Rizzo can't drill it through another.
Fairy Peak able to play that in the corner, but immediately sent right
goodness.
back down and on
it's in
net.
the corner.
What a pinch clear coming out from JNaps. A beautiful touch, reading this perfectly. That angle just absolutely, oh my God.
Oh, that's perfect.
Literally perfect. If you can do that every time, you'll win every game.
You're looking for ace clears. You found it in JNaps. What a job off his own back wall. I did not believe that ball was going in at all, and it just fit right into the corner.
There was someone there, just snuck its way in.
Krenovi can't get it through Freaky. Now mock it again. Have to find a late game answer. Out in front towards the side. Here comes Krenovi. Tap towards net, kept away by Fairy Peak. Nobody there to follow up for Mockett. Freaky back wall, just stuffed by Rizzo. And again, Krenovi has got two people to contend with, says, you know what, I'm just going to take the boost, which unfortunately isn't there at the moment.
Ready to play that back inside. They actually had two commit on defense. Could have been dangerous for Mockett, but they're able to hold off.
Fairy Peak taking away the corner boost and gets two demos. Krenovi has to scramble back. He's not going to make it, and that's a great equalizer set up by Fairy Peak.
Well played by Mockett. Couldn't find the back of the net to create that opportunity itself. Demos all over on the backfield. And then this shot from Pesci, getting up, rotating his car, and then using that little bit extra force with the wheel to put it on that tough angle. All tied up in game number 4 of this series. Mockett trying to tie up the series all together as well.
And again, that was such a nice play from Fairy Peak. Stole away the corner boost. Krenovi cut in front of his two teammates behind him in the net, expecting them to come up with a clear. Fairy Peak said, no, neither of them are there. And it was just a well-rounded play overall from Mockett. Krenovi and Rizzo trying to figure out how to get this ball out. Pesci says you won't have time to think about it. Around the back, Pesci just misses the demo, and it will be tapped towards the top of the box. Pesci now off the ceiling. Rizzo delays over to Krenovi and cross to JNaps, and that will be a clear for G2, but do they hang on to it? Here's Rizzo. Taken away by Fairy Peak. Krenovi already waiting.
30 seconds left on the clock.
JNaps some time, pass to Rizzo, quick 1-2, and just off the bar, follows through, and that's gonna be 2-1, and G2 threatening.
Good conversation happening with this G2 team. This pass play and back inside, you can't do that unless you're communicating perfectly. But then for him to back off as well, he's like, no, I think it's in. And he gives them that trust. And that's the biggest thing with it, is trusting your teammates to make those plays, but be there in case it's not. They do just that. They're back up by 1, 25 seconds left.
Mockett sweating, a 1-2 tap. Rizzo dives out of the corner. What a save, and still Mockett denied by the G2 defense. Punches out the other side, and Fairy Peak now off the ceiling. The final 12 begin to tick. Rizzo on a dribble. Gonna waste plenty of time. Towards this corner, G2 will be happy to keep it at safety. It's so tough to score out of the corner. Kronovi towards the middle. Freaky has to wait. There's Fairy Peak. There he goes. It's towards the middle. JNaps and Rizzo dive at it. Does not make its way to the ground. Here comes Fairy Peak one more time. Doesn't have any boost in the tank. Still falls in front, and that will be cleared away by Rizzo. G2 threatening to take down Mockett. It's danger zone.
You saw JNaps try to do anything in his power, flying across like an actual rocket-powered car, just trying to get in the way of that one. It actually slips down and gives him a little bit of a heart attack, but still, this game, again, back and forth.
Back and forth is right. That huge clear from JNaps right there.
The difference maker.
It's the difference maker. It's like, who's expecting that over on the Mockett side? They're like, all right. Yeah, exactly. It's like, all right, he's going to clear the ball off the back wall. We'll be able to catch it in the midfield. And then it's like, nope, right into the back. Huge shot from JNaps. And then, of course, the huge go-ahead goal at 25 seconds. That trust and communication.
Inches from Fairy Peak. Almost has it, but that's what this game's been, a game of inches, just back and forth every time. A couple times you see those shots where they even do make the save, just barely
Just barely. And this is actually, JNaps this is his second LAN. His first LAN was a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's crazy to think. I mean, if we talk about the entire situation, like you and I were talking on the desk, like this is Cloud9's first season. Like,
yeah, it is.
It's really weird to think about.
And they're like, we're Cloud9, welcome, and we're number 1. And now
Imagine if it was always that easy.
if every team could have it that easy, they totally would. But game number 5 about to begin. G2.
Match point here.
Match point is right. Potential tournament point for Mockett. It's not quite reverse sweep for a best of 7, but it is reverse sweep territory. They've won 3 in a row before, and that's all they have to win here to take down G2. So it all starts right now. Another double commit on the defensive side of things. Kronovi into the middle, and Rizzo hopes Freaky misses and just takes away the boost instead.
Actually ends up taking both boosts, but has opportunity to make use of it here. Following that all the way through, trying to get a pinch back in the middle, but all 3 players on
what
the
a shot.
team ready to attack.
Ball just a little bit too high. JNaps around the ceiling. Fairy Peak, tough play to try and make, and Rizzo wisely on the dribble, and then a quick flick forward just taken away. I thought it was wise, and then it turned out not so wise.
Well, now you're none the wiser.
Nailed it, yes. It's JNaps into the middle. There's Pashy. Did he put it in his own net? It's just wide. Close call. But a nice delay there from Mockett as they have a chance to recover here. Pashy has to wait. Didn't get that corner spawn as right when he left. That's always how it works. You go to steal boost and then it spawns as soon as you leave the pad as Kronovi out to the middle.
JNaps just not able to make anything from it there as it drops in mid. Rizzo there to contest early. Ends up going back, but the pressure from G2 is shot from Kronovi unsaved again. The inches of this defense able to hold it off, but a huge clear. This is a chance for Mockett to attack.
JNaps lobs it across. Rizzo got a little bit of a bump in the midfield, delayed his attempt to go and get that ball. JNaps keeps it close, launches it forward. Rizzo sizing it up. Does he go for the pass? Back wall for Kronovi and Fairy Peak, excuse me. Too many Fs on that Mockett squad. I can't. Reading is hard.
Yeah, you'll get it someday.
I'll figure it out. I can count to 12. That's all I really need. It's this one off the ceiling. Kronovi pass across. Rizzo leaves it for JNaps. It's going to be close, but Freaky not going to have any of it. Pass to Pashy. Has to wait a little bit, and he comes up short as well. Freaky just gets it taken off the nose. Here's JNaps. If you can put this in, you'd be insane. It's off the back wall.
2 minutes have gone by. G2 on match point, trying to close this one out. Don't want to leave the chance, as we are still tied up. Ball played in the middle by JNaps over down to Rizzo. Back to Kronovi was the idea, but ends up missing out. His demo's coming out, trying to relieve some of this pressure as Mockett. But G2 just playing so quick right now.
And again, these guys played at Season 4 championships. G2 came out on top in that 5-game series, 3-2. Freaky misses a clear. Fairy Peak launches it forward. Kronovi pass across, cut down, and somehow able to make a second touch just to delay that push. Now Downfield by J-Naps. Easy save for Pesci, no problem. Rizzo across, nobody's home. Fairy Peak to himself, tries to go right through the defense. Freaky, and again, another double commit from Mockett. It's gonna mess with that rotation just a little bit. Fairy Peak cuts one down. Kronovi has to make a stop and just gets it into the corner.
Actually would have liked Kronovi to let that one go. He would have been able to let that go on the ground and then have potential to clear that backup field. But don't blame him. This Maka team starting to play quick as a shot and bar down, barely missing by Fairy Peak.
Oh, Pesci so close to getting the dunk. Rizzo just launches that ball downfield, says we need a little bit of space to breathe. Back wall, J-Naps can't get there. Quickly down to the other side, and Rizzo's already on defense, ready for it. Rizzo has to land here. Pesci gets on top. Fairy Peak pass across. This is a nice setup, and that is stolen away by J-Naps in the midfield.
Unfortunate though, Rizzo was not able to get that mid boost as he lands, so he has to rotate all the way back. Luckily, he's able to get involved here on this.
Oh, J-Naps had the net. A nice demo from Rizzo. Kronovi lines it up. It's a weak touch, and Fairy Peak just shuts it down. Pesci waiting so patiently in the midfield, and that is stopped by Rizzo.
Rizzo actually able to get underneath and cause some confliction up in that midfield as they're able to play that back down, a 1-2, and back immediately towards the net, applying pressure as soon as they get the chance to transition from one side of the field to the other.
Kronovi towards the side again, at nobody in particular, so Mockett just take the ball right back. Here's Rizzo, a nice high tap, but J-Naps has to come to the ground first before he can go get it, and Fairy Peak, such clean traversal he's had all E-League long. Very good at keeping up his speed. Normally something I attribute to Kronovi, but the final 30 seconds here and overtime looming. G2 threatening to take down Mockett in their second big live event. There's an air dribble, and he can't fit it into the left side. Rizzo's gonna slam it home, and G2 might do it.
18 seconds this time. Last time it was 25 with this air dribble. So well played, shadowing it that whole way. Gets to the opposite side, so it pushes back inside to his teammate. Perfectly done by J-Naps, but the slam in from Rizzo. They have to hold on here if they want to take it.
And it's all or nothing for Mockett now. Kronovi off the corner. Here's Fairy Peak. A little bit too much behind it, but it's not a wide open net yet. J-Naps comes out of the corner, tries to go and track it down. Here's Rizzo. Fairy Peak waiting so patiently. You can hear the crowd counting down. Fairy Peak can't get the pass. It just has to touch the ground. It's on net, and J-Naps can't stop it. The delay. Rizzo can't, doesn't matter. G2 have done it, and that is it for Mockett.
Yet again, a moment of inches that's settling on the net. And G2 knows exactly how that feels, where it settles by pixels to not go in, but they hold on 18 seconds. They have got to be ecstatic right now.
What a day for G2 Esports. I mean, all smiles there from Freaky. Knows it was a well-played game. G2, so well played. I wasn't even sure they could do it.
Dribble. So right there, when he makes that second
touch.
touch, they hit that post and bounce it back out. We talk about this game being reactionary, just last-second decisions. To get your nose on that and play it out, to set up your teammate, and having that being the defining goal, my goodness.
And credit where it's due. I mean, G2's defense all series long, they were under a lot of pressure. There's Kia, Kronovi's girlfriend, ecstatic they've all won. A well-deserved win for them as they will take a short breather before going right into Gale Force. So,
for the first time in what has been a while, we do not have a North America and Europe international final. I'm so excited for this next one.
So such a good play, but what a day. Mockett unfortunately have quite a run through the group stages, and they find themselves halted in the single elimination bracket, and that is gonna do it for them. So, when we come back, Waller and I need a chance to breathe, and we'll let the desk break down everything that just happened. You're watching E-League, don't miss the rest.
His name is J-Naps. You do not give him that space.
Oh, hit it straight into the goal.
Well, G2 were feeling confident going into it. Turns out they were absolutely right to. Made short work of Mocket Esports. Their Cinderella story comes to a crashing halt. G2 Esports into the final. There's a ball up there. Is that okay? Better watch out. Please don't follow me. All right, so guys, what do you make of that one then? A very comprehensive performance from G2. I was very surprised, actually.
Yeah. I mean, the moment I put faith in Mocket and don't put faith in G2.
I told you,
Eat my words.
I told you, I jinxed it when I went and said that I had gone 6 and 6. So 6 out of 7, that was pretty good. I'll take that. But you heard it from Achieves in the game. When G2 starts bumping, you know they're comfortable. And they started to bring that out towards the end. It was fantastic plays all the way around, as it was a pretty clean victory here over Mocket.
For a while, we saw bumps playing just a huge role in the meta. There was a certain patch that made bumps a little more, I guess, important. People were utilizing it a lot more. And G2, especially at the World Finals just a few weeks ago, I still think they were the ones that used it the most and capitalized on it the most, and it's just how you stop these really consistent teams, a team like Gale Force. So if they can actually bring that in early into the next series, since Gale Force really just doesn't make mistakes, that could be the way that you find the gaps to score.
That's great. It's really good to see G2 finally have this opportunity. Since they have formed as a roster, they've been trying to get this grand final chance, and here they are to finally get a shot at that title.
But it really was a formidable sort of, for want of a better phrase, like a passing game almost. It's kind of like watching Barcelona play soccer, They were able to find each other, great movement on and off the ball. It was just, it's the best they've looked since they got here.
And to say like, G2 wins cleanly in this series, but it wasn't that it was one-sided. It wasn't that they were just a dominating performance. Mocket looked good. They were passing as well. It was all pretty close games in general, And it was awesome to watch these guys play. It was really cool. There was 2 of the games there at the end. So close Mocket came to scoring in both the ends of games 4 and 5. But, man, G2 pulls it out.
Yeah, and what can you say about J-Naps as well? You can see there with that high assist count. That's what I was talking about. If they were Barcelona, he was definitely Messi.
And for a long time, whenever you'd see really highly mechanically skilled players, they were your strikers. They were the ones that would always put them in. But now, as everything has changed, those people have actually become the support roles. They use their creativity to break the defense so they can give their teammates the shot. So you see high assists on people like him, on Squishy Muffins, on people like Bluey, because it's usually their creativity that just completely destroys the defense and leaves it wide open for their teammates to follow suit.
So while you're here as well, I want to ask you just some thoughts about the championship. Having seen G2 there finally really coming alive in this tournament and looking so good against Mocket Esports, who are undefeated, do we feel there could be an upset here?
I think the bumps are going to be the wild card. If they can get enough bumps in and they can really pull Gale Force out. We've spoken about it when we're casting before. When you have perfect spread out just play like Gale Force, you're relying a lot on individuals not to make mistakes. So the moment that you blow somebody up, the individual's gone and they're going to make the mistakes. So I think if G2 can make that a pivotal part of their gameplay, they have a really good shot at Gale Force.
I think also them getting out to the early lead, getting the win in game 1 was very helpful just for the mental game. And they're on the home field advantage here. Cornovia's from Atlanta. This crowd loves him and he feeds off their energy. He's said that time and time again. So I think an early lead could be pivotal for them getting to the win over Gale Force.
I'm glad you brought up Atlanta. I live here too. I moved out here when I got this job. Love this city. Best city I've ever lived in. And I'm not just saying that to pander, I really do mean that. And, one of the great things about Atlanta is the food, and in particular, desserts. I know somebody else who appreciates good slice of cake, right, Carbon?
Oh, this is where he was going with this.
I was wondering where you were going with this.
Just you and Golden Boy just make such a good couple.
You thought they were taking a picture, didn't you?
We did. We thought you were taking a picture. That's why we held the pose. But honestly, I think it turned out better with the hold. Golden Boy is a good friend of mine. He's actually who brought me into this line of work. This is how many times on loop are we gonna watch this?
Well, look, because it's kiss cam. Look, mwah, there it is.
So how good was the cake?
It was a cheesecake. First of all, if you're gonna have any cake, it better be a cheesecake.
Okay.
And it was incredible.
I mean, I had the
obviously, clearly we're enjoying it. Can't you tell?
It's no joke. I was your size when I came out to Atlanta. Fried chicken being a breakfast food is a dangerous thing, my friend.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna take a break, and a little bit later on, we're gonna be hearing more from Golden Boy, who's been hanging out in the Cheez It Lounge. I mean, I say, where is he? What's he doing? Oh, wow.
Too much
Go-
cheesecake?
Too much cheesecake.
Yeah, could somebody go and wake him up, please?
Cheesecake?
We'll see you after the break.
Oh.
So, what do you think?
No.
This is my favorite.
No. 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 No.
Close one.
100 billion ways to customize your battle car in Rocket League. Play for fun, live to play. Rated E for everyone.
To people just starting out in Rocket League, you're gonna miss your first few hundred aerials. So you just gotta keep going for them.
You go into free training, just shoot the ball in net, do some double taps, dribbles, all that kind of stuff. The more hours you put in, the better you're gonna get at the game.
Graphics will make it ever so right.
Good defense comes with time and patience, a lot of patience.
Ghost gets another double demolition on defense.
Watch pros play and analyze when you're in a replay when you get scored on.
Gripe got zoned out hard by Rizzo.
My favorite trick is the seating shot or maybe the 180 backflip.
I like to air dribble, literally just fly over the whole team. You're just staying behind the ball the whole time and just dragging it through the air.
You're gonna miss the ball a lot at the beginning, so you really need to improve your consistency.
You improve way more when you're having fun, and you have the most fun with your friends, like my two teammates.
That was Tips and Tricks presented by Navy Federal Credit Union. After this break, it's the grand final of the E-League Cup. Welcome back to the E-League Cup. We are about to get into the grand final. Gale Force versus G2 Esports. But before we do that, we've woke Golden Boy up from his food coma, and he's going to be talking to JNaps.
One, I will say that the cake was delicious. Okay, it was a delicious, was it strawberry cheesecake? You like strawberry cheesecake, JNaps?
I don't know.
You don't know if you don't like strawberry cheesecake? What kind of cake do you like?
I like ice cream cake.
Okay, ice cream cake.
#1 spot.
Okay, I respect that, baby. All right, well, let's go ahead and talk about that previous matchup as you get ready for your match against Gale Force in just a little bit for the grand finals. Maka, though, had a pretty impressive run here at E-League. What were you guys looking to stop as you prepped for that game?
We made sure we let them win at least one game so we didn't get reverse swept.
Okay. Sure. I'll accept that one. And then you had this like ridiculous long ball shot that was just so absurd. You looked very surprised when that happened. Did you just figured it would be a hard clear and that was it?
I was last back and I thought I was actually going to miss the ball, and it turned out I scored, so.
Okay, so right now, I don't know how I feel about any of your answers here. Okay. Well, let's talk about the grand finals then, because Gale Force did sweep you guys last. And, well, this is a very talented team. What's the answer? What's the plan going into this grand final?
Well, Gale Force makes the least mistakes out of any team in all of Rocket League, so we just got to make sure we sharpen up our plays and play at the speed they do. And that's the only way we can beat them.
All right, man. Well, I'm looking forward to the grand final. JNAP's always a pleasure to speak with you, my friend. A clown, but I love the dude. Anyway, Richard, your thoughts on JNAP's?
Yeah, well, what can be said about him? You know, outside of the Gale Force guys, I think he's one of the players who's really stood out for me this tournament. Just a great sort of all-rounder, incredibly versatile. And you saw in that last match, pinpoint precision on his passes. Nice bit of alliteration.
It's been an excellent showing here from JNAPS because we've all known him, hey, he's the guy who shoots the ball. So it's really good to see him come out here and provide the same opportunities to his team that he's been getting all season long, and it's resulted in that very well-rounded G2 offense that I think they needed to have coming into here. To be fair, I didn't give him a lot of credit versus Mocket. They played excellent, but it's a whole different beast versus Gale Force. I mean, he hit the nail on the head. They make the least amount of mistakes of any team in Rocket League, and I just don't know if what I saw versus Mocket, it looked good, but I don't know if that's good enough.
What did you make of that interview?
I mean, me and the Chiefs talked about it as well. It's one of those situations where these guys, they did give away possession quite a bit. Despite looking dominant, Mocket does give you space and allows you time because they want to counterattack with that. You saw it multiple times. They pass the ball one way, and then all three of Mocket push down. That's not going to happen with Gale Force. Gale Force is going to be in your face the whole time, trying to dominate that entire pitch. So it might be a little bit different game, but if they can get in that bump style, that really heavy demo aggression, they're going to stand a pretty good chance.
Well, we are going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to break down the championship game. We're going to find out who is going to be the winner of the ELEAGUE Cup, Gale Force Esports or G2 Esports. We're going to know in just a few moments. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to the ELEAGUE Cup for Rocket League. The crowd are hyped, and look at that. You see Drake and his friend are hyped. There you go. So great to see people of all ages coming out to ELEAGUE to enjoy the finals. We've been enjoying it on the desk, and right now, there you go, look at that. Moment of fame. Yeah, big round of applause. Thanks for coming, guys. So, this is it now. This is the moment of truth. This is what it's all been about. Gale Force in the final, current reigning world championships. G2 Esports coming alive at the right time. You already talked about it a little bit. I mean, for me, incredibly hard to look past Gale Force.
Yeah, so let's allow me to indulge myself and give you some more numbers.
Well, you go for it. Look, you did the homework. Dude.
Let's cherry pick a little bit of data
Okay,
here for Gale Force.
I like
Let's give you an idea of the scale of how good they are on offense. So they're #1 in shot differential.
Okay.
They're #1 in shot differential with 168 plus 168. That's 168 shots more than all of their opposition did against them. #2 in shot differential was Cloud9. Cloud9 had plus 14. Or
Wow.
59, excuse me.
There you go.
Wrong one. So that's a little more sense. But that's over double.
Yeah.
Over double. They put shots on net. Gale Force has no problem putting shots anywhere towards the net. And G2 gave a lot of possession away in that market game, like Lalo was saying right before the break. So you give free chances like that to a team who already generates a lot of chances, it's not looking good.
Well, that's what JNAP said. He said, you know, Gale Force make the least amount of mistakes of any team in the world in Rocket League, and we've got to do the same.
I mean, it's not only that the fact that they make a lot of minute details exemplified when they do them. It's just with those mistakes, they're coupled with consistency. Every single player on their team, you can just rely on to make the right touch at the right time. Like, very minimal decisions that they do are the wrong ones. They're always at the right spot. They're always making the right pass. They're always shooting it on net. It's just one of those situations when you couple that together and everybody on their team does it, it's not like one has a dedicated role either. They all swap in, interchange. It's insane what they do and how they do it. You can't really pinpoint one specific thing because it's all the time.
Yeah, and if you needed a psychological edge going into a final, this would definitely help. Gale Force have already played G2 Esports in those group stages and got the sweep, and you can see G2 managed one solitary, sad-looking goal against them. So it's going to be a crazy final. If G2 Esports can raise that level, it could be a classic, but Gale Force, no doubt the favorites. The Pigeons loving it. Guys, we've got to get ready for predictions.
Gale Force, 4-1. I'll give them one game.
Very kind of you.
Well, we only gave them one goal earlier in that sweep, so they had a difficult performance at the Worlds. They went 3-1 there. They went 3-0 here for Gale Force, and still, Gale Force has not given us a reason to doubt them. Got to give it to Gale Force. It's going to be a dominant fashion.
All right, thanks, guys. So this is it. It's the grand final. Make some noise for both these teams and for your commentators who are in the Boost Mobile Cast the Desk. It's Carpet and Wavepunk. Take it away, guys.
Oh boy, the grand finals of the ELEAGUE Cup. Gale Force versus the home crowd favorites G2. G2's been trying to get to this point for so long, and they're finally here. I cannot wait to see these two teams collide.
I mean, there's not much else to say. You heard it from there on the desk. Gale Force are actually just an incredible team, and it's pretty much up to G2 to see if they can figure out what it takes to bring these Titans down.
Let's get up and get loud. It's game day. Let's find ourselves a Rocket League champion here for the ELEAGUE Cup of 2017. A best of 5. Only one of them, because it's single elimination bracket. No bracket reset here. We'll play it only 7 games. Maybe only 4. Who knows what's going to happen? These teams will be competing back and forth so many times. We've got Gale Force in the orange, G2 Esports in the blue. It's game number 1, as always, here on DFH. Got Rizzo setting this up for Violent Panda. He puts it back in the middle. JNAP's looking for the pass over towards Kronovi. Ball will outpace him, and he'll move in for the boost starve instead. Turbo to Violent Panda, the pass game strong, and they'll move it into the G2 corner. Gonna have a double commit between K-Dop and Violent Panda, but K-Dop's got all of this one. Gonna try and drop it underneath Kronovi, has it into the box. He can pass to Turbo here, looks for the shot, but Kronovi's got the save, it goes away.
I don't think offense is going to be the difficulty for either of these teams. They need to figure out what kind of defense and how they're going to make sure they organize themselves when facing shots.
Rizzo to take it out of his corner, but Turbo's there. Gale Force pressuring deep in the G2 territory. This is what they did against Cloud9 earlier today as well. Rizzo and JNAPs looking to meet up. Turbo Pulsa intercepts. Violent Panda and Rizzo Ball goes underneath, and JNAP's now up, can look for the soft touch down and in. The pass comes through, but Kronovi's shot just a bit off, and the defense will hold for Gale Force. 3:18 left to go on the clock, and we're still scoreless here in game one.
And they have to be careful. Gale Force just getting caught in net, all three of them there, but they were luckily able to push that out. But barely. Violent Panda almost wasn't able to make a short contest after JNAP.
Rizzo to JNAP's, the pass comes through, and G2's got the lead.
And there it is, the quick turnaround just when Gale Force thought they had control. KNAP, the only man back, couldn't turn around in time, and the pass out to JNAP's, who won't miss a shot like that. 1 goal up for G2.
2 minutes into this first game, G2 gonna try and hold on to this lead. But Gale Force has had so much ball control in this game, it's only a matter of time. G2 needs to be able to keep that ball in the orange if they want to keep this from getting tied up. Here comes KNAP, the pass back to Turbo, pulls a completely open net as he passes it back. Didn't have a shot he could take, but now he's got it into the box, and Rizzo with a great touch will put it over the top of Violent Panda, who is looking to score. JNAP's now with Kronovi in support. KNAP over the top, and he's got it towards the goal. Oh dear, Rizzo with the flip. KNAP could put this in. All the fakes come through, and Violent Panda will slam it in. Tie game.
I don't know, but was it a fake? Probably not. The unintentional fake, I'll give it to him. The flip from Rizzo. KNAP not truly knowing exactly the speed of that coming down off the crossbar. I mean, you'd be an idiot not to try and touch that into net. It's right there in front of you, but they'll still manage to tie it up.
Gale Force gives us a 1-1 game here, right approaching halftime. Kronovi will flip back down onto the ground and then get the setup here for JNAP's, looking for the goal. Can he double tap it in? He can! Clean plays from the North American MVP, and G2 takes the lead.
The immediate answer, and this is what I feared. Not a lot of defense right now, at least collecting quickly. Turbo Pulse, the only man back. No way he'd be able to get that from JNAP's clean.
Beautiful kickoff goal, giving G2 back the lead. Still 3 goals before halftime here. It's been an exciting grand final so far. KNAP pass Rizzo. Man, I called him KNAP.
I think I just called him KNAP too.
Taking a page out of a Chiefs' book.
Chiefs, what have you done to us?
Oh dear, JNAP's looking for the setup here to Rizzo. KNAP's in net, and he'll be able to play it away. And now Violent Panda let it go off of his ceiling, off of his hood. Ball's back at midfield, but JNAP's and Rizzo, their own half, should be able to transition this one out. The shot from midfield, Violent Panda's got the save. Turbo pulls it back down to Violent Panda. Clean plays to move it into the blue corner. And it's just Kronovi in the back. Gets the loft out to midfield. JNAP passes in towards KNAP and Violent Panda, but Kronovi with the interception. Now Rizzo pressuring in the box. Turbo pulses up and it comes back down. Rizzo finishes it off. 3-1 G2.
Another slow chance to get to defense. Gale Force, not very much like them. We don't see this very often. Rizzo just following through. Not very difficult, reading his own shot. 2 goals up for G2.
1:50 left to go here in game number 1. We talked about on the desk before this match that early momentum could really help G2, and they've got this one in front of the box. JNAP's excellent placement behind Turbo Pulsa, who tried to cut across, just shoots it behind him. 4-1 now for G2.
Gale Force, that was, I mean, when there's 2 people bumbling around the ball and you're Turbo Pulsa, there's actually nothing you can do to beat them because it's just 2 bodies kind of pinching the ball around.
He chooses where to defend and just hopes that he chooses right. It's kind of the goalie in the shootout, just jumping in one direction and hoping he gets the right way.
And in that situation, G2 was hoping whatever was going to happen would get it around Turbo.
Kronovi with the drop down. The pass out. JNAP's comes in with the shot, but KNAP's got the save. Sends it away. Now JNAP's into the corner here with the drop down. Turbo Pulse is lurking in front of the net. Violent Panda moves up as well. Now the retreat from GFE. JNAP's down to Rizzo. Shot towards net's a bit high. The follow-up from Kronovi blocked away by Turbo. Now KDOP airborne. Violent Panda moving up. He's got KDOP up in front of him. Turbo Pulsa flanking. Successful boost grab for Gale Force. This one comes down in front of the box, but nobody's there to shoot. In the final minute, down by 3, Gale Force in a rough spot. G2 looking good to take game 1. Violent Panda will play this one out towards Turbo and KDOP, but G2 able to intercept. Now going with the pass plays again to move it back down. Rizzo setting this high. Turbo Pulsa taking it out of the net. Now back in, JNAP's up one more time to take the shot. It's wide. With 30 seconds remaining. Just running the time off the clock. G2 sitting pretty, holding on to control of this game. And doing exactly what we were talking about earlier. JNAP's will put in another one. That one's just basically the nail in the coffin here for game 1. They were able to successfully take the ball from Gale Force and keep it in the orange. Just consistently rotate at the midfield, not allow Gale Force to have many shots on net here. As you see, very rough estimates here. What is this? 12 shots from G2 to only 6 from Gale Force. Double.
Just the amount of space, too, that G2 right now are accumulating in Gale Force's half. If you just think of all the shots that we've seen, all the goals we've seen go in.
Oh, can he do it again? No, Violent Panel sent it to the side. And the clock will count down. Kronovi will just let this one bounce. And this game is definitely over. Just a matter of the ball touching the ground. You see Turbo Pulsa already doing donuts in the middle. He knows it's over. G2, clean victory in game number 1. A dominating performance. We'll see if they can keep it up.
When you think about the goals that G2 put in, they weren't crazy dribbles. They weren't insane air carries all the way down. Nothing too nuts. They were incredible passes, though. Pinpoint passes. I think you heard Richard say it over there. They're accurate. They're pushing it towards each other. And that's big for them because you don't need to make difficult shots. You don't need to make them if you're just helping each other out. A couple of mistakes as well from Gale Force. Turbo Pulsa not getting behind that ball. I think there were 2 or 3 touches that Gale Force didn't make that, honestly, I think we all expected them to make, including even people on G2. Even though we saw Rizzo go up for that, his 2 teammates were dropping back, expecting Turbo to get connection on that. So not used to seeing that from Gale Force.
An absolutely beautiful performance from JNaps here. 4 of the 5 goals he's scored on 5 shots. Accuracy, the name of the game as well. And the pass plays from G2, manhandling Gale Force here. And Gale Force can have their work cut out for them here in game 2.
And without bumps, I was hoping to see a little bit more bumps or demolitions. But again, when there's a team that stays so well spread out like Gale Force, the moment you beat one of them, it's such a big deal because now their whole team has to drop back and make sure that they can come and support. It makes it more difficult for them. Now, Gale Force is one of the best teams at dealing with it. They can almost always turn defense back into offense with with counterattacks by even their defender. The guy who's blocking on net is looking for someone to pass to.
I think it's crazy that we had a game that was that one-sided in G2's favor, and we didn't see the bump plays. We didn't see the demos coming through, and that's just another tool on their belt that they can pull out if they're like, oh, okay, Gale Force is starting to figure us out. Well, let's start going for the bumps and see if that can happen. And Gale Force, I think that will easily give G2 at least one more game in this series. The question is which one, and can they get the other 2 they need to become the E-League Cup champions?
But G2 cannot sleep right now. That was not the Gale Force that I've seen. That was probably one of the most mistake-ridden Gale Force, and not that they were full of mistakes, but they just do them that little, right? I almost never see mistakes, so even seeing 3 or 4 of them is much more than I usually see at Gale Force. They're usually just picture perfect. So G2 need to make sure they don't slow down. Complacency will literally destroy them in the series.
Well, game 2 will move on to Urban Central, a storied map in the Rocket League annals of history. We will see, can Gale Force bounce back for dropping game number 1? It's a common thing that can happen in Rocket League where one game goes one way cleanly and just decisively, and then the next game's an all-out defensive brawl. Violent Panda just going for the carry here in the corner, manages to get it over the top of 2, but nobody in a good position to read it. Very difficult play to read. So now JNaps looking for the shot, not there. Kronovi demolished in the midfield. It's Gale Force that's bringing out the demos here in the beginning of game 2, but the pass plays come through. Rizzo's shot blocked by K-Dop. Excellent defense from the Europeans.
But still, they're pulling these out no matter what. Now you're seeing the defense from Gale Force get stronger, more confident. It will be that much more difficult to push these shots through.
JNaps carry this one across his own net. Violent Panda looking to challenge, doesn't find anything. Turbo Pulsa a demo onto JNaps. Plays the ball into the corner. Strong presence from G2, able to play it back out, but now Violent Panda with ball control in the corner. G2 has a player across the field to challenge Turbo. Rizzo drops it down. Turbo drops it down to K-Dop, rather. Now JNaps off the ceiling here, looking to just play defensively, and does so. Excellent play off the ceiling to push that one back into the orange. K-Dop sits in net. Turbo again with a demolition on a Kronovi, becoming more and more physical here. And I like this adjustment from Gale Force. Game didn't go in our favor. Let's just break it up. Don't allow them to go for the pass plays. Remove them from the field. Force them to advance out of their own half. But still, the 50-50 game right now. The challenge is G2 is consistently winning, just giving them more and more ball control here. Turbo has to challenge in the air and get that one away from Rizzo.
G2 seeking out vengeance, trying to get the demolition, but now JNaps, last man. Good contest.
Able to get that one away from K-Dop. But Turbo Pulsa over the top. Rizzo demolished again. The demolitions just continue to pour in here. And K-Dop, can he get this one through? No! Kronovi and JNaps team up to get that one out. 3 minutes left to go here in game 2, and it's still scoreless. K-Dop up to midfield. Rizzo's there with the challenge. Now K-Dop looking to pass it.
The pass!
Puts it in. Oh, dear. I think this might have been an own goal from G2. They were looking to make the defense happen just a little bit off.
But again, the way Gale Force approached this, K-Dop Kronovi waiting on the backboard, trying to bait that out, and JNAPS wanted to be between him and his teammate. Honestly, if JNAPS hadn't touched that, K-Dop would have. From the angle he had looking at the ball, his only other option would have been maybe to just body out K-Dop, jump on top of him.
Oh, off the kickoff, Violent Panda puts in another one. Gale Force reading G2 here on kickoff and making a goal out of it.
And this is why you cannot sleep on Gale Force right off the bat. Everyone going to one half from G2. They all rotated to their left side. They were all in the same half. So the moment that pinched across, no one could save.
I love those wheels Kronovi has. The black translucent Revenants. I've just never seen those before.
You know, the only titanium whites I've ever gotten are Revenants.
They're pretty. JNAPS put that one over the top into the corner. Or Rizzo, rather, looking for JNAPS in the corner. Now Kronovi up on the wall. They play this out. Turbo Pulse is up, gets a nice touch into the middle, but JNAPS will pick this one up. There was no follow-up. JNAPS looking to play it underneath. Now 2 players commit. This is a dangerous situation. It's just Rizzo in the back as Turbo Pulse and Violent Panda advance. But they don't find the shot. Rizzo will be able to get this one away. His teammates rotate in behind him.
He did buy enough time. Well played by Rizzo. Turbo, again, going to slow that down. He knew that Rizzo had to get pulled out of net. So what did Turbo try and do? Drop it down for his teammate to give him a better shot at a 1v1 situation.
JNAPS letting that one go. Kronovi picks it up. Gets a 50-50 back into the corner. So Rizzo will challenge from his own half. Plays it into the orange. Rizzo up again, just picking it up time and time again after Gale Force's touches. Kronovi sits in net as Turbo Pulse comes down. He's the only player in the back, and they'll get there first. The ball came to him, but a shot, what a rocket. Crossing the net there from K-Dop. JNAPS puts it back. Violent Panda onto the wall. Rizzo with a touch. This is a back pass. Kronovi's got to be careful here. He needs to get this one away as Violent Panda will challenge, and then the play comes through. Kronovi does pop it up. It's still dangerous. And does he get the touch? No, not quite there. Maybe ran out of boost at the end. Just such a difficult play on the defense. 3-0 now for Gale Force.
I don't know if I'd call that first touch from Rizzo a back pass particularly, although that's what it was. That is not what he intended. He put Kronovi in a terrible spot. He was the last man on net and was kind of underneath the ball, so he couldn't get a hard clear. It wasn't an actual pass back to him, and they suffered from that mistake.
This is the sort of thing that Gale Force is good at. No matter what, they put in another one. Second kickoff goal for Gale Force here in game 2.
The fact that they have the strength and the wherewithal to do this twice in a single game, following up, no one from G2 there to support, and just taking the shots on the net. Gale Force are always so incredible.
Those ones will go away. And Gale Force, after dropping a 4-goal game, they lost 5-1 in game 1. 4-goal differential there. They now have a 4-goal lead here in game 2. This is how they bounce back. They make the adjustments. They are going for the demo plays. We've been seeing that pretty consistently, especially in the earlier half of this game. And now with 1 minute left here in game number 2, Gale Force holding on. G2's got their work cut out for them. It looks like we're probably going to have a tied-up series. Rizzo in the corner. K-Dop falls back, look at the infield pass play, it goes off the post. JNAPS so close, and Kronovi comes in, able to put that one through there on the board.
Gonna say, Gale Force cut this angle off well. I like the passing play from Rizzo, but notice there was nothing left between JNAPS and K-Dop. But once it bounced straight back out, Kronovi was there to follow through. And G2 are trying to just build up as much momentum as they can going into game 3.
That bounce went so in G2's favor, and then the way Violent Panda moved in on the ball, I don't think he was able to see Kronovi coming in, so he didn't try to make the play away. Kronovi just takes the shot, gets G2 on the board, but an immediate response here from Violent Panda, trying to make it a 4-goal game again. G2 defense will hold on, but another shot. Rizzo makes the save. 3-goal game right now. It'll be an absolutely epic comeback if G2 were able to bring it back.
Not that I don't have faith in G2. I don't have faith in the skill of anybody. I don't think anybody can make this happen.
Yeah, it's not about G2. It's about the fact that I've never seen it happen before. Rizzo nearly putting a great shot in there. Turbo Pulse will drop this one down. 15 seconds left, still down by 3. This one's going to be over. We're going to see Gale Force tying up the series at a game apiece. Back and forth between these dynamite rosters here. Kronovi starts to go for a demo there on K-Dop and net. Maybe a taste of things to come in game 3. We'll see. So we're all tied up at a game apiece.
9 shots for Gale Force and 7 for G2. A lot closer in shots than you saw out of the goals. That essentially was a 4-goal game for a little bit and eventually separated. G2 still are getting the passing plays, though. They're doing a great job of pushing that through, doing what they can, but Gale Force's defense is starting to look more solid. It was in my opinion, pretty weak for them in game number 1. But now in game number 2, they seem more consistent. They don't seem to panic as much. Again, no double commits from them. But the kickoff goals were huge. G2 really make sure they figure out how they're dealing with kickoffs and what they're going to do for it.
I missed the formation they went for on the first kickoff goal, but the second one, we didn't see anybody cheating up. They were both going for double boost, which is a common thing that pro teams do these days. And I feel like maybe going for a slightly more defensive stance against a team that is now scoring consistently on you on the kickoff would be a good answer for G2. But they're going to need to change a few things here, as it's been just such a complete stomp there from Gale Force in game number 2. Game number 3, no idea what to expect right now.
Yeah, and so as far as kickoff strats, you know, if you're going to have 2 people go for boost, then you're relying on the guy that's going for kickoff to make sure it doesn't do what it did, which is die right in the middle. You don't want it to be killed in the middle, especially if no one's cheating up or no one's waiting in net, because you'll see what happens. KDOP has literally just a straight path into the net, and there's not going to be much stopping him. So it's up to the person going for kickoff, but again, I wouldn't say there's not any RNG in kickoff to a degree, but you're trying to read an opponent who's going to change something last second. So it gets very, very difficult to control exactly where kickoff goes. But moving into game 3, we'll see who takes control early on.
Moving on to Champions Field. Yeah, the veritable field of champions. I feel like I was going to come up with something better than that. That was just so obvious.
At least you called yourself out on it.
You know.
The Champions Field. The field's for champion people.
Doesn't sound any better the second time around. We'll just move on here. Violent Panda to try and play it out of his own half. We'll see if Gale Force can get some, or G2 can get some of their momentum back on their side. They're dropping that one. It's all pretty even right now. They did get the last goal there of game 2, which always is helpful. Bernovi and JNaps moving up together. Rizzo far in the back for G2 right now as the ball sits in the net, or near the goal, near the box of Gale Force. They'll be able to play this one out. Now, giving the ball to Rizzo, takes the shot down. Turbo Pulse needs to play this, and he does. Gets it out. It's the last man back. A shot that was on target. Violent Panda, Turbo Pulse, and KDOP all deep in G2 territory. Violent Panda puts it through. Gale Force has the lead.
So this started as a shot that Turbo Pulse had to go back to save, and he gave it straight to Violent Panda, who turned it directly into an attack. JNaP sitting in net with actually like 70 boost or so. So I don't know who actually agreed to potentially go for it. The fact that he didn't even make a jump for it makes me think that someone called him off.
Now 3:57 left to go. G2 taking a shot. Bernovi with a follow-up here. 2 defenders up. The goal will be a little bit open, but nobody in a good position to shoot as the ball went off to the side. Now the counterattack coming through for Gale Force. So moved into the corner. Double player in the corner there. Turbo Pulse got the boost, and this will make things a little bit more difficult for G2. But they're making the plays, pushing this one out. Violent Panda on the wall. He's going to look to maybe give it to Turbo or KDOP, both lurking at the midfield. Trying to cover any way this ball can bounce to keep the offense going, but Bernovi opting for the dribble plays. KDOP picks it up, puts it back and into the box.
Nice clear.
JNaps. Rizzo with a good read, able to transition this one back down. He looks for goalies as Bernovi and JNaps looking to make the play. Violent Panda meeting in the air. The team passes in the air coming through for Gale Force, and they'll move it back into G2 territory. Rizzo now with the carry. KDOP. Give it to Turbo Pulse and Violent Panda for the pinch into the corner. Players opting for the air carrier right now just to try and hold on to ball control, see if they can transition out, but Turbo Pulse wins that touch battle cleanly. 2-0 now for Gale Force.
The challenge from Turbo Pulse to stay to the outside, knowing Rizzo was coming from the inside. Rizzo actually didn't even make any contact on that, assuming he was cutting off the angle more so from Turbo, but he found the sliver it took, and Turbo puts his team 2 goals up.
Now 2:50 left to go. G2 down. They're dropping the last game. Now here in game 3, looking to bounce back. See if they can get that lead back that they earned in game number 1. Jams with a miss. Turbo pulls it onto the open net, and it looks like maybe there was a mechanical error from JNaps that left this one wide open here. So it's a 3-0 lead now for Gale Force.
Yeah, JNaps in the net. It may have been a mechanical error, but either way, he was the last man back. Rizzo was the one underneath Bernovi looking for the pass. JNaps, knowing that he couldn't get to it, came up, but at that point, all 3 of you are within the same plane on the field. No one on defense, and it was a pretty clinical shot for Gale Force.
Bernovi had a good win up there in the corner, but his teammates were retreating. Now Turbo Pulse is so deep. The pass down to Violent Panda. Good interception by Rizzo. And JNaps with the fake pass one. Now the pass inwards. Bernovi can just boom this one down the field. G2's on the board.
There you go. This keeps it much closer. 2 goals in 2 minutes. very possible for G2. JNaps is cut in incredible around K-Dop and Kronovi. All he had to do was not miss.
He puts that one through. Dead center there for G2. 2:18 left to go. We're past halftime, and it's a 2-goal game. As G2 try to come back into this one. 3-goal comeback. Definitely not easy, but definitely possible in Rocket League. JNaps to move this down. Kronovi with the shot from midfield. Turbopolsa has the read, and now Violent Panda looking for the pass, but Rizzo's there first, puts it into the corner. JNaps there to help him out. Kronovi hangs in the back. Turbopolsa puts himself very high, but Violent Panda takes a shot, and Rizzo has to play to the side.
I would have loved the Turbo foul on that.
Violent Panda looking for Turbo. Now Kronovi up. Can he carry this one over the top of K-Dop? He gets that one into the corner. Rizzo on the touch from Violent Panda in his own corner. Plays it past one. Turbopolsa up and Violent Panda dropping this one down. Kronovi to take a shot towards the net, but it's soft, and Turbopolsa will cleanly take it away. JNaps back out. Touch from Turbo now. Kronovi's there. Here comes JNaps through the air. The pinch could work out for him, but the block gets straight at K-Dop. Words himself a savior medal here. Here comes a follow-up from Rizzo. Violent Panda this time to play it away. The defense of Gale Force just stalwart right now. So we're approaching the final minute of game 3.
Look at them turn it all the way around. Kronovi forced to get up for that, and that will be a clear right back into Gale Force's half. JNaps wants to follow suit. Kronovi left all alone. He's not going to make it. Violent Panda clearing this across. 3 goals up, 1 minute left.
The accuracy here from Violent Pandas that goes in. The K-Dop, he's earned himself a savior medal. We have 2 people on hat-trick watch from Gale Force as they are just cleanly working in this game. Final minute, down by 3. G2, we still have yet to see them really effectively bumping in this game. I think I've seen them going for it a few times, but just not finding their targets. And it could be a difference maker is right now, we have yet to see a game that doesn't involve 5. Like we've had a 6-goal game, a 5-goal game, and now another 6-goal game. This has been such high scoring stuff, and it's been so lopsided every game.
And just look at that strike. Rizzo knew he couldn't get that. He didn't even bother jumping. It was so fast and so high. It's about as close as it gets, right? It literally hits the crossbar and still goes in.
JNaps with the shot off of kickoff. K-Dop was there. Now G2, you'll see them be going all out. Might as well. A reason to hang back. But again, down by 4 goals. Approaching 30 seconds. It's looking very good for Gale Force here. They will look to take the lead in the series. The best of 7. They've got to win 4. But 2's a good start here. Turbopolsa in the air. Not going to make contact, but Violent Panda's there first. Be able to play this one all the way back down. Is there anything else, in particular for G2 here? We talked about the bumps that they could maybe start to do more effectively. What else would we be looking to see from G2 if they wanted to be able to tie this series back up in game 4?
I mean, when it comes to a team like Gale Force, speed is just kind of necessary. Whenever you see Gale Force getting close to getting shut down, it's because they can't do what they love to do, which is utilize space. If you close that space off by almost playing man, I guess is the best equivalent, to just getting right up in their face, making sure they can't get it to each other, interject yourself into their plays, that's what slows them down, and then their offense starts to fall apart. Then you have to deal with their defense, which is a whole other wall.
They all did a pretty good job keeping that ball in the air for like another 20 seconds after the clock expired. And Gale Force, 2 games in a row now, games 2 and 3 as we move into game 4. They've taken the lead, and they have held after dropping 5 goals. After allowing them to score 5 goals in game 1, they've held G2 to only 3 while scoring 9 themselves.
When you talk about using the bump plays, which obviously we're encouraging to try and see if G2 can do that, there is also the caveat of when you go for the bump, you are keeping yourself out of position if you've gone out of your way to go for a bump. Or if you go for a bump on your way back or a demolition, you're no longer a target to pass to because now you've got a different objective. You've turned off ball cam. You're going for a player as opposed to the ball. A lot of times what people will do on their retreat is they're an option now. If their teammate wants to strike it onto net, they're welcome to. If they like to pass it to them, they're also welcome to do that. Maybe they'll pass it right back, depending on how they're feeling, if they want to give it right back to their teammate. But the fact that they're not going for it means that they want to play a game that they're generally most comfortable with. Bumping kind of takes you out of your own play. You're just trying to stop them from playing defense as opposed to playing the offense you like to play.
Well, it's interesting. We had only 1 shot difference here, 9 on the side of Gale Force to 8 on the side of G2 for that game number 3. So decent amounts of time, the ball spinning on both sides of the field. Both teams had time to shoot, which is the defense of Gale Force holding on, and they were so much more accurate on the other end. able to win that game by 4 goals. Now G2 looking to start early here. Rizzo finds a shot, but K-Dop gets in the way. Now Gale Force looking for the counterattack. Here comes Violent Panda over the top of one, but it's wide. JNAPS will send it over into the corner. K-Dop with the pass back to Turbo Pulsa, looks for the shot. It goes to the other corner. Keeping the ball deep in G2 territory, but nothing on net just yet. Rizzo with the flick over one. Turbo Pulsa back down to Violent Panda, but Kronovi's up first. K-Dop looks up to challenge, but doesn't find anything. Now Turbo Pulsa's got to be careful with this. He's the last man back, and he was at midfield. But he wins the touches, is able to put it into the corner again. Gale Force holding on to ball control for basically the entirety of this first minute of Game 4.
G2 want to make something of it, though. You'll see JNAPS finding himself in cherry-pick positions. Because now he just tries to gain control, buy some time, let his team push up so they can gain that midfield control.
And they did get the ball into the orange corner before we hit the 4-minute mark. So G2 now with an opportunity to score. They try to drop this one down. And they did start with the ball control. I do remember that. So it wasn't entirely just Gale Force here in the first minute. But a great deal of it. This is JNAPS now looking for Rizzo in the middle. With the 1-2 pass plays involving the ceiling. Kronovi looks in. It's on the backboard. It was a great setup, but Rizzo was having to fall back after the initial play. Now Rizzo to JNAPS again. Pass plays near the ceiling. Violent Panda looks to come off the ceiling here. Rizzo's got the read, sends it away, and Kronovi will follow it up. Add some pace. Turbo Pulsa. JNAPS challenging in the middle. It's Kronovi now with the toink off and going into the corner. Right now, both teams playing rather safe. Just playing the balls into each other's corners. Place where the least amount of action can happen. K-Dub now going to try and read this one off the ceiling, but it gets blocked by Kronovi. Sends that one away. We'll stay scoreless as we're approaching halftime.
2 did go up for it, so if Gale Force want to continue this push, they've got G2 in a weird spot, but Kronovi will keep control and let his teammates reset.
Rizzo with the pass over to JNAPS. Turbo Pulsa had that pass read. He'll end up in G2's net. Violent Panda misses on the wall, but K-Dub's got a lot of space. Sends this one all the way up onto the backboard. Kronovi has to play it over the top of Turbo Pulsa. Turbo Pulsa back out to midfield. Rizzo's there. Midfield defense starting to hold on for G2. They've got 3 players in the orange as they loft this one. JNAPS with the follow-up. K-Dub's got the play over to the side, but the pressure could still be on here for G2. JNAPS falls back. Turbo Pulsa plays it back into his own corner, and Rizzo says, thanks, I'll push that one around. And Kronovi finds the shot, gets it around the post. G2's got the lead.
Eventually pushing it through, winning the contest after contest. K-Dop wanted to push that out, but well read by Rizzo. Kronovi getting the angle as difficult as it was, and Turbo getting caught, getting antsy, trying to pull himself out of net. The counterattacks they love to do will eventually bite them.
2:14 left to go. We're past halftime at G2. Trailing in the series, looking to tie it up here with a win in Game 4. Turbo Pulsa and Violent Panda in the corner. This one lofted high. Rizzo's up first, but Violent Panda able to get second touch and push it past him. Now Kronovi over to the side as JNAPS sits in net. Rizzo and Turbo demoing each other, so a momentary 2v2. Both players will spawn on their back lines. JNAPS sends the shot back in and goes through. 2-0 now for G2.
What seems so quiet for so long.
Yeah.
G2 have woken up. They've been able to put the strikes on, and JNAPS never ceases to amaze us. At the top of his leaderboard, of course. 2 shots, 1 save, 1 goal for him.
1:50 on the clock. Gale Force Esports yet to score in Game 4. Every team has managed to score in every game so far. No shutouts. K-Dub takes a shot, and JNAPS gets the block. Good angle, but a quick read from JNAPS. And now back into the middle. Will be Turbo Pulsa who follows. Rizzo takes it from him. Violent Panda looking to play, but just falls back and opts for K-Dop to take the shot. Here, Turbo Pulsa looking to connect. Now Kronovi, the pinch off the ground. Excellent placement there. How did he pull this off?
I think there was a demolition on the field somewhere. Violent Panda getting chased down by Rizzo, had to dodge it, and then still got demolished as their last man back that will leave it open for Kronovi working together. There is the bump demo play we've been encouraging them to use. Granted, they used to when they were already in the lead, but why not?
We have yet to have a close game. We've had the smallest score margin we've had so far at the end of the game is 3. And right now we have 3 again. And can they keep Gale Force from scoring here? They've got a minute left to hold on. And it would tie us up at 2 games each. Guaranteeing us at least Game 6. Right now, we're really on course for Game 7. A good demolition there by Turbo, or onto Turbo by Rizzo. Violent Panda over the top of one. Rizzo back to midfield. Turbo kills it. Looks for the small ball plays here. Can't get it past Kronovi, though. He's got a lot of support, can just tackle. J-Nap's out, looking for Kronovi, just looking to put some more goals on the board. Turbo Pulsa airborne will intercept, but Rizzo's there. Clears it all the way down. Violent Panda up. We'll get over to the side as we hit the final 30 seconds here of Game 4. K-Dop to try and play it out of his own half, but Kronovi's in. Turbo will get the block. And the pressure for G2 building. Just don't even allow them an opportunity to get out of their half. G2's putting the pressure on.
Another demolition to slow them down. It stopped them from being able to give themselves targets and push it out on these counterattacks. And G2 keeping control are going to take this victory.
Violent Panda, can he put this one in? No, it won't happen. It'll go over to the side. We'll see if G2 here can get the first shutout of the ground finals. As that ball's going to touch the ground, it will. G2 3-0 now over Gale Force in Game 4. And we're at 2 games apiece.
And as you said, Wave, another 3-goal margin. That's kind of insane to think that they're just trading control back and forth that heavily. I mean, 3 goals, we'd seen a lot of really close games, overtimes in general, but we've seen nothing less than 3, up to 4 goal differential between these two teams, always keeping their opponent to 0 or 1 goal, which is kind of insane to see. There was 2. There was 2. It was 5-2 in Game 3.
No, it was 5-1 in Game 3.
Oh, it was 5-1.
Sorry, my notes.
Oh, your handwriting.
My 1 kind of looked like a 2. It
well,
certainly
you have a
did.
different kind of 1 there. You're doing different
You're
kinds of
not
ones.
wrong.
Come on.
Not wrong. I'm sorry. I'm just writing it down fast. I'm talking about those small numbers here. 4 shots from Gale Force in this game. I think definitely the smallest amount of shots we've had yet in the series. So G2 finding a way to turn it on, keep that ball in Gale Force's half, and not allow them to even get shots on target.
And starting to break them up with demolitions. Because even at the best, or sorry, even at the worst, if you demolish somebody, you force them all to readjust, especially if you catch somebody in an important position, whether they're the one in net or they're the one that's about to make the contact. If they're the ones that are about to make touch, someone has to replace them to try and make sure they start closing the gaps, not giving you too much space. If they're the one in net, someone has to replace them in net. So you force them to kind of think on their toes. And if you do that at the wrong time, or I guess for them, wrong time, amazing time for yourself if you can capitalize, you can push them in a tight spot.
Now we move on to Manfield Night here for game number 5. Best of 7, so we got at least 1 more to go, possibly 2. Gale Force starting on the offense here. J-Nap's playing fast. He'll get it out of his own half and look for the shot, but Turbo Pulsa's got the block. Now Kronovi coming off the ceiling. Rizzo's not in a great place to take up the pass. J-Naps was across the field. Violent Panda through. Kronovi up on the ceiling. Up on the wall, very near the ceiling. Pitches it off of K-Dop. Turbo Pulsa's got the read now, looking for the shot upper 90. Goes off the post and back out. The pressure's still on for Gale Force, but Kronovi takes this one, and Rizzo decides to actually take it from him. 2 players moved out. J-Nap's now across the field.
Bro had no boost.
Yeah, that was a good play then. And Turbo Pulsa again, he gets this. No, Kronovi shuts him down, but K-Dop's got the finish. Gale Force takes the lead.
And he still had no boost all the way through that. He picked up a pad or 2, but he had to try and react to the shot, which he did well from Turbo. Almost getting the save, but it bounced right off the crossbar. K-Dop following on the right side this time, because just previously he was following behind his shot, but it crossed to the net on the side. He wasn't there. He's got to feel good about that.
Goal coming in the first minute here. Gale Force and K-Dop with another shot. Kronovi hanging in net. Now J-Naps. K-Dop gets it past him. Rizzo in the air, playing it back down to his teammate. Kronovi airborne. All the way into the orange corner. Kronovi now looking for J-Naps. The air passes from Gale Force back. They're putting the ball into the G2 half. Violent Panda now looking for K-Dop. The pass game just kind of ping-pong here between the 2 teams. Opting for the hard clears, not wanting to push into offensive territory, not wanting to kind of concede positioning. But sacrificing any real ability to score. Now Rizzo pushing across. J-Nap saw an opportunity, but got across, and now he's looking for the demos, but gets demolished himself. It's Kronovi. Tried to find the goal. K-Dop gets this one past, just J-Nap's in the back here. Floods it down, Violent Panda in the middle. He'll look for his teammate on the side. K-Dop will look for Turbo Pulsa. They find the shot on net, but Kronovi gets the block, sends it away, and now Rizzo looking for the counterattack.
Gale Force looking to slow down. They've got the lead in this. and they've had a lot of control, although it seems to be going back and forth. They do have more shots. They have 6 shots to only 2 for G2, so they're holding them on defense.
Oh, here comes some pressure from G2. They're only trailing by 1. It'll only take 1 shot to tie up this game. As Rizzo puts that one past 2. Ball making its way onto the Gale Force backboard. Jams gets the setup and then looks for Turbopolsa in net. Kronovi takes a shot and it's high. Turbopolsa now with the follow. Jams with the tackle. Kronovi the pass back into J-Naps. The shot towards net, but it's blocked again. The reads from Gale Force. They see these passes coming and they go to where the shooter is and just block him right at the point of contact. Across halftime here in game number 5. Turbopolsa looking to make a shot, but Rizzo with the tackle. Still the 1-goal lead for Gale Force. Kronovi sends another one on target. Violent Panda. Ball was actually a bit wide. Violent Panda will send it to the side. K-Dop in the corner. Turbopolsa moves up. K-Dop creating confusion. So Violent Panda lofts this one. It's going to drop down in a dangerous spot. He might be able to finish it off, but Rizzo able to get up and in the way. Keep us at a 1-goal game. G2 still has the possibility of just like a breakaway or anything tying up this game.
G2 getting a little bit flustered on defense. We saw all 3 of them in the corner, but they were just able to eke out some good saves. Someone going to the net, but it was very, very close. Staying calm on defense is going to be tough when Gale Force can make everything such a threat.
Novi. Rizzo will team up and pass it to him. Violent Panda now in his own corner. Eric dribbles it out, gets a pass to J-Naps. Now Kronovi with the challenge. Crossing the field, 1:08 left on the clock. A demolition from J-Naps. On to J-Naps now. Violent Panda and K-Dop, they can work together here, but the demolition onto K-Dop critical to mean that this goal does not, this lead does not extend right now as we cross into the final minute. Turbopolsa putting this one. Now Violent Panda back to J-Naps. He'll pass into Kronovi. Rizzo actually ends up with the pass to J-Naps now off the back wall. Kronovi up and doesn't make contact. The pass plays was there, but the final shot not going to come through. 40 seconds left for G2 to tie it up.
So difficult to make those. You have to play so reactive, try and read and memorize that bounce and the trajectory within a fraction of a second. Kronovi was just a bit shy of being able to read that.
Well, J-Naps now off the ceiling. Here comes Rizzo through the air, onto the backboard.
Nicely done.
Coming back off. Kronovi's right in this position. He could just fake him out, but they don't fall for it. Violent Panda gets the tackle. Kronovi back in, and J-Naps airborne. Could possibly make it happen, but it's not there. Rizzo now back into the box again. J-Naps with a kill, and Kronovi to try to take a shot. Brilliant play, but again, they can't get through this defense. And with the final countdown by 1 goal, Violent Panda wants to secure this one, and it'll pitch high. Here comes Kronovi and J-Naps through the air, pass inwards. Rizzo's up to try and put it over the top, and Turbopolsa says, not today. Gale Force now with 3 wins under their belt, 1 win away from being crowned ELEAGUE champions.
They're on game point, but that had to be the closest game we've seen. I don't even say had to be. It literally was the closest game we've seen this series. G2 kept to only 5 shots, but in reality, there was only 9 for Gale Force, so not a huge difference in margin and only a 1-goal difference. G2 really close there at the end. From about 30 seconds, the last 30 seconds to the last 10 seconds, they had a lot of really good drives. But that's the Gale Force defense that we're saying maybe a bump or demolish will help break it apart.
Absolutely, and you saw it there at the end. So much pressure, so nearly close to tying up the game. It reminded me kind of the end of their games against Maka that we saw in the semifinals, with both those last 2 games very, very close as well. So G2 here, as you said, with the closest score margin we'd had before this was 3. Only 1 goal scored in this game. As G2 now having to win 2 straight. Gale Force has match point right in front of them for the taking, and they could be crowned champions for their 2nd major event in like a month after winning the world title at Season 4. So Gale Force, such a, excuse me for this, force to be reckoned with.
You're not excused.
You're welcome.
You're not excused. Even they don't like it.
At least I like me, okay? I'm proud of who I am.
There's one of you out there.
Game 6 here. We'll move on to Manfield. Or actually, we're back on to DFH. They look very similar. We were just on Manfield, but this one here.
I still don't know the names.
Is DFH. There is a storm of the likes of which I don't think you should be playing any sport in, but you know what? We're going to do it. Turbopolsa looks for the pass to K-Dop. Quick offense here as K-Dop finds it off the crossbar. Are you kidding me?
Within 6 seconds, we see Gale Force able to turn this in. K-Dop going for the first, and then that pass all the way up. How he found this angle. With no more boost, he used every last drop. I don't even know if he had any when he went up for that jump. I was too busy watching the pass from Turbopolsa. Incredible play right off the bat from Gale Force.
Gale Force already has all they need to secure this championship. G2 with their backs against the wall. See what they choose to bring out here. Kronovi going up. JNaps had a nice screen, so this one will drop back down, but there's no one there to shoot. JNaps tried to turn in and get it. But Turbopolsa will carry it away. Now Rizzo winning that touch. 3 players in the corner there for Gale Force. Violent Panda moves back into net. JNaps will take a shot. Turbopolsa getting the save and sending it away. We'll stay at a 1-goal game here, but G2's putting the heat on.
Yeah, GFE not out of the woods at all. 2 did go up for that first save, and now they're just trying to have damage control. Can they push it out? They finally do, and now they've reset.
Kronovi back in his own corners. Rizzo and JNaps moving to 2 and 3 roles respectively. Kronovi under 1. Now he'll be deep as a cherry pick, but he chooses to rotate. K-Dop over in the direction of Violent Panda. Demolition onto K-Dop. Here's the demos we were hoping to see from G2. See if they can bring them out when they're on the offense as well. JNaps trying to carry this one through the air. Turbo's got this read. He'll drop back down onto K-Dop's hood. Rizzo now. This one going to the corner. Takes the boost. Sets it up for Kronovi, who's able to play this maybe underneath Violent Panda, but a brilliant read there from the veteran player. Rizzo will drop this one down. JNaps tries to play it on the ground. K-Dop gets the save.
I think Crow was trying to play a bit of bully there. Good to see that they're looking out for it, at least understanding it's an option. That's a good way to make it through.
4 saves already for Gale Force. So they've been having this ball in the back a lot, but Violent Panda and Turbopolsa, look at these plays from these guys. He just kept that ball on his hood, just cleanly glides it in front of the box. But the shot from Turbopolsa just a bit high. And now Kronovi, shot inwards, Violent Panda in the way. Rizzo up, back to Kronovi. They can take the shot anywhere he likes, but Turbopolsa sends it out and keeps us at the 1-0 margin for Gale Force.
Still have to be careful. They're running low on boost. Only one of them has enough, so if they can keep this onslaught up, G2 are looking pretty to sink one in.
JNaps, patience, pass 2, and now the carry. Can he put this one in by himself? It's a bit wide. Kronovi now in midfield. JNaps turns around, realizing he's the last man back and needs to make a play. Just punts it into the corner. Kronovi with a follow, able to get it past Turbo. K-Dop with the wrap. Rizzo moving up. Ball's making its way back into G2 territory. Kronovi with the pass inwards. JNaps airborne to try and take the shot. And a waterfall kind of back down on it. Just bounces straight off. Didn't quite make it up there to where the wall started to turn into the ceiling. A shot again towards the goal. A bit wide. And G2 be thankful it is. They didn't have anyone in net ready to deal with it. JNaps picking this up. Over the carry, past Turbopolsa, but he gets bumped. K-Dop will be able to pick this one up. Just trading ball control. Turbopolsa in the corner, sends the shot near the net. Now Rizzo, clean carry again. Violent Panda looking for the demo, but it's not going to happen. Now K-Dop back over to Violent Panda, who's in an offensive position. JNaps makes the save, keeps the game competitive, but the follow from Turbopolsa back out to K-Dop, and JNaps gets this one away. Now Kronovi on the breakaway. It's just Violent Panda to deal with. He's got Rizzo in the middle. Can they make the play happen? It's just a bit high, and JNaps is all the way back getting boost, so there won't be a follow-up shot. He'll be able to just block the breakaway on the counterattack, but with 1:30 left to go, G2 down by 1, needing this goal right now.
They're still looking for that pass. They know it's the only way to make it through. You can't take useless shots. Look for a teammate, misdirect them. A demolition from Rizzo. Gives a shot to JNaps.
JNaps puts it in. Tie game here in game 6.
They barely keep themselves alive. They have to keep this margin for at least another minute 20 to put themselves into overtime. The demolition from Rizzo is what helps open up the field for JNaps.
2 in a row there. Turbopolsa, he spawned and immediately got demolished again. That's exactly what they need to be able to pull out. And the question is, can Gale Force respond? Their kickoff goals, their quick offensive pressure has been too much for G2 many times in this series. They could easily do it again, so this match far from over.
Thank you for not calling it a quick off.
No, the quick off. I mean, I forgot about that, to be completely honest. Rizzo back out. Ball in midfield. Final minute of game 6. Gale Force looking to take match point. Rizzo lofts, JNap up in the air onto the backboard, could possibly do this himself, but it bounces over his head. Kronovi comes in and it's off the crossbar. The ball stays in the box, but then bounces out off of K-Dop's touches. Rizzo looking for Kronovi, but Violent Panda's up. And luckily, JNaps is in the back. Violent Panda took the long shot from midfield. Now JNaps up again, looking for this read as it drops back down. Turbopolsa puts it to the corner, and with 30 seconds remaining, still tied up at 1 apiece. Haven't had an overtime yet today in this grand finals. It looks like we might be about due for one, but this one right into the box. What a block by JNaps to keep us going. Now Rizzo, 17 seconds left. Kronovi will play it to the side. JNaps just slowing it down in the corner. Final 10 seconds. Scary place to try and slow it down when it's this close to losing. Gale Force, Kronovi gets that one over the top. This one going back up. Turbopulsa could try to send the shot towards then. Here comes Violent Panda for the redirect, but the shot goes back down. Overtime here in Game 6.
The last chance for G2 to stay alive in this game. Try and tie up the series. Gale Force a single goal away from being crowned the E-League Cup champion.
Violent Panda playing it deep into the corner and getting demolished. JNaps has to carry this off the wall, gets it past K-Dot, but there's nobody there to pass to. Kronovi and Rizzo in their own corner. Again past Violent Panda. Turbopulsa and K-Dot playing defensively, back near their own box. Violent Panda onto the wall, almost had the read on Kronovi. A goal for Gale Force, as you said, wins them the championship. It's K-Dot down in the middle. Rizzo to JNaps, back towards Rizzo. Kronovi's in a position where he could shoot if he can just get up in time, but Turbopulsa had that read, saw it coming from a mile away. JNaps now trying to carry it over the top. Violent Panda down. Rizzo with the shot towards net. Turbopulsa's there and saves it at the goal line. K-Dop sits in net, and the demo looked for it. Rizzo was trying to find K-Dop, but it wasn't there. Now JNaps into the corner. Turbopulsa with the win. Rizzo has to play this one away, and this is dangerous stuff for G2 right now.
Not great.
Pass goes back into the middle. Rizzo gets it past one. Turbopulsa's in the back and should be able to play this to the corner. It was wide anyways, but G2 now pressuring. Kronovi looking for a shot opportunity as K-Dop plays it back. JNaps on the back line, misses on the wall. Turbopulsa up onto the backboard. Kronovi has to get this one past K-Dop, and he does. Over to the side, we keep playing. Violent Panda onto the backboard. Turbopulsa looks to drop it. It's just sitting in front of the net, and Violent Panda's actually the player to play it away. Turbopulsa over to the side. Violent Panda looking for the pass. And JNaps, a dangerous play across his net. Violent Panda shot towards net. JNaps is there. Gets the save. So close here in overtime. So we're approaching 2 minutes. Violent Panda pressure. Turbopulsa, the connection's not there. He didn't have the pass. Not often you see that pair miss. Kronovi now to JNaps. Doesn't make the contact either, and Turbopulsa has to make the backflip save. A savior medal for Turbopulsa here in overtime.
Not often do you see this kind of pressure in overtime from both of these teams. Here's a shot.
JNaps made the shot, but K-Dop now with a savior medal as well. Another demolition on a Turbopulsa. G2 trying to stay alive, but Kronovi puts it over the top of Rizzo, and JNaps in the back will have to play this one away. They're keeping the pressure on, trying to send us to Game 7, and as it goes through, no! Turbopulsa sends it away again. They continue to hold on.
Disgusting defense from Gale Force. No matter what comes their way, they still always stay organized. No matter who's getting blown up, there's someone there to make a save.
JNaps over. Rizzo could just backflip. It doesn't happen.
Oh dear. The own goal.
Doesn't happen.
Oh my God.
Play. The choke on the goal line, and we go to Game 7.
Everyone expecting Rizzo to make this flip. K-Dop just wants to get in the way, and he inadvertently puts it in. 2-minute 45 overtime. The games just get closer and closer.
The blood pressure in my head just skyrocketed. I am so excited for this. And how does Gale Force respond to that? They were one goal away from being done, from being champions here. And the one goal they score is on their own net. And now they have to play another game of Rocket League. The crowd erupts at them. G2's got another chance.
And that is a prime example of the Gale Force defense that nobody wants to deal with. It is so frustrating. No matter what kind of shots you put on, Rizzo had an open net and he wasn't able to put it in. He was probably about to throw his controller across the entire arena. But thankfully for him, I suppose, someone from Gale Force came in to help him with that. But in their defense, Rizzo really probably should have and would have made contact with that in almost 99 other situations. It was just one of those things.
Man, and JNaps, again, 4 saves here. And both the goals from G2, obviously one of those, he got a little bit of help from Gale Force there at the end, but JNaps, what a play, the MVP here on the field. And can he keep carrying his team going into Game 7, the final game of your E-League Cup? It's all done after this one. It all comes down to this, folks. We'll have one more, and then we will crown a champion. Get up and get loud if you ever did. This is going to be fantastic.
This is the best I've seen at a G2, and I'm loving it more than anything. They're seriously giving Gale Force one of the hardest runs for their money they've ever had to deal with. I think this is the closest Gale Force have been in a long time.
This is the closest G2's been to winning a championship as well. One game away. with home field advantage. JNaps takes the shot, puts it through, and G2's got the lead.
Right off the bat, you see JNaps, his accuracy's been disgusting this entire series, but you see all of Gale Force getting caught in the corner, some bumping into each other. JNaps seeking out that far corner. They make it look so easy.
Everybody in the corner, and Turbo Pulsa actually making the play out into the midfield back to G2 players. Nobody was there from Gale Force to deal with it. And now you know that the energy is on G2's side. They just won an overtime. Now they are one game away. They want it so desperately. JNaps in the back, plays it through K-Dop. Violent Panda puts it back into the box, but Rizzo's there. And Kronovi up, playing fullback, looking for demos and for boost. Rizzo just goes for the carry, gets it the whole length of the field, and they're up by 2.
I don't know who mind gamed who in this situation. Everyone expected something. Rizzo trying to get the contest, thinking that someone would be there for it, but Turbo getting there just a bit too late. K-Dop not knowing what Rizzo had available to him, and G2 now 2 goals up in this final game.
2 goals in the first minute, though. So much time for Gale Force to make the comeback, and we've seen them make these kickoff goals. They make it off a kickoff, they get a boost grab, and now another shot towards net. Kronovi get the save here. Play the one away. Violent Panda meets him at the midfield. Now Rizzo up, looking for Kronovi on the backboard, possibly. Now the opening, K-Dop will make the save at the exact same spot that he had to make one last time. This time it goes through. Violent Panda trying to get us out. K-Dop in the box, or over on the side, trying to put it into the box. Kronovi to play into the middle, and Turbo Pulsa passed. Violent Panda moving up, and G2 is winning their touches more and more consistently here as Rizzo tries to play it slow. K-Dop will just tackle it from him, take it away, get it past Kronovi. JNaps puts it back, but Violent Panda's there, cuts in. The small dribble.
Oh my God!
K-Dop trying to make the shot. Beautiful creativity coming through from Gale Force, but no goal to show for it just yet.
Rizzo pops that up. Well played, everyone grounded.
Violent Panda onto the side, and what a pinch from Kronovi. Back over to Rizzo. Goes into the middle. JNaps is airborne, tries to drop it down, but it's wide.
Bump from Rizzo as well onto Violent Panda.
Violent Panda getting it past 1. Kronovi up, coming back down. Now JNaps in his own corner. He's got 2 players in front of him. Kronovi just looks to take the pass, gets it over the top of 1. K-Dop's there and sends it out, but they're not out of the woods just yet. Violent Panda with some solid touches, and now Turbo Pulsa looking to counter, but Rizzo shuts the door, takes the ball from him, puts it right back into the Gale Force corner. JNaps up, the shot into the middle. Turbo Pulsa puts it back, and now K-Dop up. He's got an open net to shoot at right now as G2 players go flying back, and it's not in time. K-Dop makes it a 1-goal game.
He gets it again, and this turnaround that we see from them, the pop-up from Turbo Pulsa, as risky as it was, they take full advantage knowing G2 had to dump so much resource into that last drive, and K-Dop will confidently carry that through. 1 goal separates these 2.
Yeah, and we're approaching halftime here. G2 hold on. Can Gale Force send us to another overtime? A demolition, JNaps moving up, looking for the dunk, gets it over to the side. Now Turbo Pulsa out, K-Dop up as Violent Panda rotates. Kronovi over to the side again. Just putting the ball away from his net. Pass inwards, Turbo Pulsa's shot blocked, but he took out 2 defenders with him. Violent Panda's up, and now it's just JNaps in the back. Violent Panda gets a great pass. JNaps with an excellent read, but K-Dop now to stop it and try to keep this ball in G2 territory. Drops down to Violent Panda. JNaps up, Kronovi demolished in enemy territory. This will open up some space. Rizzo, recognizing his teammate would be spawning in behind him, just moved in, created more pressure, and now in the box again. K-Dop's got to just keep the block going.
With it.
He does so. Kronovi wasn't able to push it through. Now back out, JNaps with a shot. Violent Panda and Turbo Pulsa both up, and they'll make the save. But the pressure just keeps on coming through for G2. Rizzo out to Kronovi. JNaps shadowing up to take the shot, puts it down and in. 3-1 G2.
Rizzo going full bully mode, getting the bump earlier on this, getting them all out of whack, and Kronovi beating out K-Dop. You can see the boost struggle as well. They had almost nothing left for Gale Force Esports. Back to a 2-goal lead for G2.
1:47 left to go. It's looking more and more likely like it could happen here, Carpet, as they've traded games back and forth. Nobody ever getting a really substantial lead. This one dropping down. Dangerous play from Violent Panda to just nearly make it a 1-goal game again. Get out past 2. Looking to bump Kronovi. It's up to JNaps in the corner. Violent Panda takes it from him. Turbo Pulsa lurking in the midfield. Looking for the shot opportunity. Goes up, puts it downtown, but JNaps gets the save.
All 3 went for it, though.
K-Dop back up. Turbo Pulsa in the air. Kronovi able to create enough misdirection to put it into the corner. Now 2 players in the corner there for Gale Force. Violent Panda lurking at the midfield. He'll be able to take it, get the read. try to get this one out. Kronovi now back over to JNaps. As we approach this final minute of Game 7, G2 holding on to a 2-goal lead and now back up on offense. Just one player in the back, it's Turbo. JNaps tries to play it over the top of him, but he's not going to have it. Sends it away. He wants that next goal. He wants this equalizer. JNaps up. Well, Abanda misses now. Rizzo to turn around quickly. Just one player back, hit ups up and will get it away, but JNaps is up and deep as well. Kronovi in the midfield.
Turn around.
G2 not wanting to fall prey to this breakaway. And Turbo pulls it up, puts it through, just got it over the top of that front defender, and now a 1-goal game here in the finals.
Another turnaround, and K-Dop, knowing he had to beat the only defender that could close off the angle, he pops it nice and high for Turbo to follow through. 1 goal in 37 seconds. Can Gale Force do it?
37 seconds left here on the clock. The double cheat up kickoff. Gale Force wins it out. Now looking to score. Rizzo to drop it down. K-Dop moves into the corner and Turbo pulses up. They get it past Kronovi, and JNaps in the back has to make the save up near the crossbar. Rizzo rotates in behind him, but the pass is coming through right now for Gale Force. The Rizzo and Kronovi looking to team up. 18 seconds left. They just got to hold on here, and the victory is theirs. JNaps looking for Kronovi. Turbo Pulsa puts it down, and Violent Panda in a deep cherry pick position. It's Turbo
gets the
Pulsa,
shot!
but the save comes through, and G2 gets it away. Final 6 seconds. 5, 4. They play it out. Turbo Pulsa picks it up. He's got Violent Panda to work with, but they have to keep it in the air. It doesn't happen. G2 are the ELEAGUE champions.
The current world champions have been defeated. Weeks after they take their massive victory, G2 are able to come back in extremely clean fashion. I've never seen them look this good. Unbelievable.
Kronovi's been looking for this win since Season 1 of the Rocket League Championship Series. And you heard it. We were just talking about it earlier. This home field advantage he had. They were behind them the whole way. Never let the energy go. And now here, G2 Esports, the ELEAGUE champions.
Gotta say, I know a lot of us, especially on the desk here in the booth, didn't have a lot of faith this would go all the way to Game 7 and the G2 would be the ones to take the victory. Gale Force played well, but at this time, G2 are the ones that truly brought it.
Gale Force, this is their first match loss in 14 matches. They have played so cleanly here in the professional scene, but G2 does it for them. And guys, let's go down to Golden Boy.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Guys, give it up once again for G2 Esports, your ELEAGUE Cup champions. Rizzo, first with you, man. This was a very passionate win. I could tell you guys were so into this each and every time. What does this win mean for you?
You know, every time I go to a LAN event, I just want to be the one to hold the trophy. So I finally got to do it, and it feels really great.
That's yours. Kronovi, you are an Atlanta native, correct?
Yeah, right from around here.
How does it feel to win in front of the literal home crowd?
It feels good to finally bring home a trophy for home.
Congratulations once again. J-Naps, come over here, buddy. Come over here, real quick. My God, the J-Knapsack himself. How you feeling, my friend?
Pretty good, pretty good. How about you?
Good, I'm feeling great. You know, it was a great final, but a question for you. You knew that Gale Force was going to be a difficult opponent. What did you guys look to do? I asked you this question before. What worked for you in that game?
I think we just looked to pass. Like every time we touched the ball, we were just seeing where each other were, and it just worked out.
Oh, well, congratulations once again, guys. Passing game on point. Incredible stuff. Once again, guys, your champions, G2 Esports. Guys, give them some love one more time.
Oh, man. Close one there, Golden Boy. Close one. Nearly had the worst mistake you could possibly make in that moment. But G2 Esports, what a game, what a series. All the way to 7 games. absolutely beautiful.
And essentially giving Gale Force a taste of their own medicine. You heard from JNaps, looking to pass every opportunity they get, which is what Gale Force does so well. And what separates them usually is just how consistent they are. They don't miss anything, pinpoint passes, but this time it was G2's turn to show them how it was done.
Yeah, it felt like after that Game 6 overtime, it kind of was over at that point. Like, it was just the Game 7, the energy was so on their side. They had so much control as G2 able to do it here in Atlanta and get the victory. Your E-League champions, folks. It's been a wild ride. When we come back, gonna hear from the analyst desk on what they thought about that match. It was incredible. I enjoyed it so much. Can't wait to hear what they've got to say. We're gonna take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
So there you have it. You can see the celebrations coming in as G2 Esports are crowned the E-League champions. There they are raising the trophy. It's pretty heavy, takes 3 of them. Just as well they were there because they did certainly earn it. And despite Golden Boy almost channeling his inner Steve Harvey at the end, I guess that's kind of a testament to just what a great achievement it is for G2 Esports. Oh my lord.
Yes. That was one. You know, I'm glad that a bunch of paper just...
Hold on, let me, okay. All right, now
For a moment, it was like having hair again. It was so nice to have like weight up here. It was good. Okay, well, thanks for that, Daly, the confetti king. But yes, an amazing achievement for G2 Esports, no doubt about it. And just, they all turned up, you know?
I'm so glad there was a bunch of paper that just fell on me, because I have these 2 pieces of paper right here that tell me there's absolutely no way that G2 is going to be able to take down Gale Force. We have all the results of the tournament so far that we've seen, and it's just like, nope.
Yep.
Don't need those. Who
Don't
cares?
need those.
Let's go, G2. You win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know where to start for that series. Battling back and forth, like the score differential at first, like Waypoke mentioned, until we got into that 3-0, it's like it's been a 3-goal differential at least, and then out of nowhere, it's just like, okay, it's 1-0. Everybody's calmed down, and then they ramp it right back up. But to really talk about it, I mean, Gale Force's defense, oh my goodness, to stop that many shots.
Yes.
But G2 just, you can't read it. We talk about how offense beats defense time and time again, and it had to do with G2's offense with those pass plays. Those consecutive touches, one after another, finally allowed them to get through, and then they got confident, and then the bumps and demos came through, and it was all downhill for Gale Force there.
Now, we don't have an official MVP, and I am a relative newcomer, but I'm going to venture that JNaps.
Oh, duh.
You know, yeah, good, okay. All right, good. I'm glad we're in agreement about that.
Yes.
Because, you know, look, I said he was the best non-Gale Force player at the tournament coming into this final. Played amazingly, and just end-to-end stuff. That's why he's called the knapsack. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming in, did a great job getting his team here, setting up a lot of Rizzo and Kronovi's goal-scoring opportunities. They did a great job following up and getting them to this point, but grand final kicked in. He's like, nah, give me a second. I left my backpack in the other room.
I mean, that's what showed so good performance from JNaps. I mean, the previous series for the semifinals was all passes. 7 assists for his team, set everybody up, and then as soon as we get into the grand finals, he's like, I'm going to be a little selfish on this one. And
I'll be right
pops
back.
off his accuracy through the roof.
Now, here's what I will say. If you're a Gale Force fan and you're feeling a little bit disappointed, there are some positive signs here, even in defeat. Obviously, newly crowned world champions. But you saw Turbo Pulsar looking absolutely shattered after the end. You know, you've just won the world championship. To have that hunger and fire, that losing the E-League Cup final devastates you like that, they're still going to be a huge formidable force moving forward.
Well, I mean, that Game 6 overtime, that is just running on repeat in his mind over and over. Just all he wanted to do was take the ball across the net. Unfortunately, bounced right off that opposite post and straight in. And it's this absolutely soul-crushing, because there's no way that he can sit there and be like, we lost as a team. That feels like a very personal letdown for him, and he's going to have to shoulder that, but he's going to bounce back regardless. Gale Force is a great squad. There's a reason they've made tons of grand finals. I have no reason to think that they won't be able to be just as successful.
No, it's hard to argue with that. I mean, they've been second place so many times. They finally take first at the World Championship. And then to immediately 3 weeks later come back and still place top 2, that's something to be said about this squad. Like, we talk about how good they are. We saw it. I mean, not dropping a single series until the grand finals is something that you can't be ashamed of. As for G2, I don't know what they did last night, what they ate, how much sleep they got, but replicate that from now on in every tournament you ever play, because they turned it on here on Championship Sunday.
Well, I'm going to venture something here, and it's our X Factor as presented by HyperX. I think the hidden ingredient in the alchemy was the fans. A home crowd makes all the difference. And, you know, on a serious note, I've covered esports for many, many years. I know how important it is to feel that you've got the backing of everyone in the room in those crunch moments.
I hope to see the G2 sweater squad every event from now on. Those chants were phenomenal. The what a save to chat disabled chants were fantastic.
That was awesome. I actually put out a tweet about that. I thought that was hilarious. So well done. Well done, G2 fan base.
Yeah, and then, wow, even rocking the Movember stuff. It is December now, of course, but it's still pretty good. But yeah, just an amazing crowd contributed to an amazing atmosphere here and definitely powered G2 all the way to a memorable victory. So guys, we're about to take one more break and then we're going to come back and close out the show. So make sure you join us. Congratulations to G2 Esports, of course. We'll see you in a few moments.
Oh, he gets the bump on Torment and scores the goal. His name is Jane. You do not give him that space. Oh, reverse hit it straight into the goal.
players are dreaming to play in the major.
It's the most prestigious tournament.
Everyone waiting for this moment.
Winner of a major is the undisputed best team in the world.
And if you win a major, you're able to create something that will never be forgotten.
There is nothing bigger.
Ultimate reward.
It's everything indescribable.
Top of the mountain.
Epic.
Welcome to the ELEAGUE Major. So That's right. At ELEAGUE, we're going to make another piece of esports history when the Counter-Strike Major moves to Boston. You can get your tickets, eleague.com/major. We want to see you there. It's going to be awesome. There's G2 backstage with the trophy that they worked so hard to get. Super happy for them. What a story that they won the ELEAGUE Cup. And what a story here. The fans who helped them do it, all stroking their mustaches. They've literally been doing that all throughout that commercial break as well. The dedication is incredible. So that's it from the ELEAGUE Cup for Rocket League. It was amazing to get another game under our belt. Super happy. Great community. Thanks for welcoming us. Thanks to all the talent we got to work with. Great working with you guys over the course of this weekend. And no doubt we will see you all next time. Be sure to tune in on TBS next Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern as well. Until then, take care.